Hi, everybody, from the Comerica Texas. It's the 2019 ACHA National Championships presented by the ACHA Network. Game 4 between the number 16 University of Jamestown Jimmies and the number 17 Robert Morris University Eagles. I'm Cristiano Simnetta, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. Lou, tonight's matchup features a pair of teams who were bounced in the round of 16 last year. They face off again tonight. And hey, we know that not all of them are going to get to the round of 16, but at least one of them will, right?
Well, that's right, Cristiano. First, thanks for letting me hang on with you here tonight in this final game of the first night between these two very evenly matched teams. Two teams that have the records may not look like they're stalwarts, but they have played some very tough competition this year. Both teams playing a lot of the teams that are here in Frisco, Texas in this Division I tournament. So I'm really looking forward to a very, very tightly knit ball game.
And as the playoffs transpire, the games amplify in terms of pressure. Both these teams seem to lean on the guys who man between the pipes. Cole Semchak will probably be the starting goaltender for the Robert Morris University Eagles. And then the other side, Tyson Brower for the University of Jamestown Jimmies. It seems like tonight's matchup is going to be a competition between, hey, who's going to flinch first?
Well, absolutely right. That's the thing with these one-and-done tournaments. That's like the NCAA basketball tournament. The first 8 to 10 minutes is what I always look for in these opening games. Who's going to make that first mistake? Who's going to take the aggressive side? Like in the previous game with Oklahoma and Drexel, they both came out laying the lumber. I'd look for maybe a little more of a cautious game between these two teams because, like you say, it is win or go home.
Jamestown has been hitting their stride at the right time. They're 11-2-1 in their last 13 games played. Eagles 5-3-1 in their last 9 games. Yet, Lou, both teams headed into tonight's game after losing their previous contest. RMU lost the University of Illinois in the CSCHL play-in game. Say that 3 times fast. While Jamestown was shut out by the Minot State Beavers. How do the Eagles and the Jimmies bounce back from lackluster performances their last time out, knowing that if you have a lackluster performance to start this one, you could be headed home in a hurry?
Well, they just got to forget about it. I know that's easier said than done, but this is a new stage. Both teams are 0-0. They know that if they, like we said, if they come out and they can keep the mistakes down to a minimum, hold down. The big key as well is going to be to guard against the odd man rushes in the first 5 minutes of the game. Establish position, but don't get the turnover. The forecheck is key, and just to get the butterflies out.
You got to control that neutral zone. Can't allow any easy offensive zone entries. Special teams always seem to be a huge factor in the tournament, and both Jamestown and Robert Morris have posted dreadful power play numbers this season. Now, we know the officials love to swallow their whistles in the playoffs, but how crucial is it to the success of either of these teams, the ability to capitalize when your opponent's in the sin bin?
Oh, it's very crucial because the momentum is key. If you can get a team down, I've seen it more than once in these national tournaments, Cristiano, where you get a team that might be even a little bit better than you get them down 2-0, you get that morale down on that side, you get them on their heels, and you can really go for the jugular. Next thing you know, you're up 3 or 4 goals, and you're advancing to the next round.
We're just moments from puck drop between the University of Jamestown Jimmies and the Robert Morris University Eagles, so let's send it down to ice level with public address announcer Andy Storrs.
Good evening, parents and hockey fans and fans watching the live webcast on the ACHA YouTube network. Welcome to the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas for the 2019 American Collegiate Hockey Association Men's Division I National Championship Tournament hosted by the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dallas Stars, and the Children's Health Star Center Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Storrs. Game number 4 today features on the visiting bench the number 17 ranked Robert Morris University Eagles. And on the home team bench, the number 16 ranked University of Jamestown Jimmies. Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for Robert Morris, in goal, a senior from Bakersfield, California, number 1, Cole Semchak. On defense, a sophomore from Alsip, Illinois, number 6, Tyler Kreitz. On defense, a senior from Leavenworth, Kansas, number 16, Nick Rizzo. At center, a senior from Rochester, Minnesota, number 3, Ryan Martin. At left wing, a grad student from Centennial, Colorado, number 24, Josh Hart. And at right wing, a junior from Bloomingdale, Illinois, number 13, Sam Mancini. The head coach of the Eagles is Billy Carr. The associate head coach is Julian Giantonio. And the operations assistant is Michelle Lichterman. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the home team bench. The Jamestown Jimmies. In goal, a junior from Lethbridge, Alberta, number 1, Tyson Brower. On defense, a junior from Richmond, British Columbia, number 4, Trevor Okino. On defense, a senior from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, number 17, Cole Sanstibo. At center, a junior from Calgary, Alberta, number 18, Bryson Yee. At left wing, a junior from Fort St. John, British Columbia, number 16, Hale Bell. And at right wing, a junior from Cranbrook, British Columbia, number 23, Jason Richter. The head coach of the Jimmies is Cole Bell. His assistant is Brent Davis. The trainer is Camden Lambert. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise? Join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Gary Lichthart in the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Andy Storrs, terrific as always. Hi, everybody. Cristiano Sametta, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. And Lou, let's break out the crystal ball in front of you. How does this night turn out for either of these teams?
Well, I'll tell you what, something that you and I talked about before we went on the air, Cristiano, is kind of a surprising goal for Robert Morris. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Cole Semchak is getting the start, the senior out of Bakersfield, California. You had mentioned Chris Mellon got the start in the last stops, or in the last game for them. And I'm going to keep an eye on that. And again, I'm also interested in the back check for Jamestown. Their defense, a little bit shoddy in the last couple of games before the playoff game that they had where they lost in their last game. So I'm interested to see how that plays out for them.
The goaltenders, Cole Semchak in the net to the right, 9-9, 3.54 goals against average, .906 save percentage. At the other end of the rink, Jamestown's goaltender, Tyson Brower, 14-11-2 this season, 2.61 goals against average, .925 save percentage. I'm getting the feeling, Lou, this one's going to be a long one and may require more than 3 periods.
There's nothing wrong with extra hockey, is there, Cristiano?
Not at all. Ryan Martin at the draw against Bryson Yee. The Jimmies maintain the opening faceoff since Stebo clears it in. And Semchak sets the puck up on a tee for Tyler Kreitz. Kreitz to the far side corner of the Eagles zone. Ryan Martin looking for it. Hits a weak side option. And Josh Hart, who gains the red line. Blue line, left wing side. It's whacked up into the air and gloved down by Martin, who's knocked down by number 4, Trevor Okino, the junior defenseman out of Richmond, British Columbia. Hart maintains control for Robert Morris. Back to the left point it goes for Nick Rizzo. The captain of the Eagles wraps one in around the back of the cage, and to the right side it goes for Kreitz. Pitching in at the defensive end. Stolen away by Yee. He hits an outlet man, and here come the Jimmies over the red line. Blue line, right wing side. Jason Richter flips one on, and out of the glove of Semchak into the far side corner, where Cale Bell comes together and frees up a loose puck to the neutral zone.
Seeing a little bit of physicality more on the Jamestown end here in this first minute of the opening period.
53 seconds into this opening period. No score between the Jimmies and the Eagles. As Robert Morris clears this one all the way down, it'll be an icing. As Garrett Browning hits the hash mark. So you talk about who's going to flinch first. Some early zone time for Jamestown, but they're being kept to the perimeter, and I think that's just an example of the feeling out process between these two teams.
Oh, absolutely. I think you're going to see that at least in the first 4 or 5 minutes until someone, again, as we mentioned, will take that chance and try to establish position.
Scott Koch against Cole McKechnie on the draw. Koch won it. Mike Cacciato tried to get it free, but it ends up materializing near the blue paint, and Semchak will take a whistle. 1:07 into the first period. Now, Robert Morris, you alluded to it, they lost their playoff game against the University of Illinois 2-1, but Cole Semchak was not starting that game. Chris Mallon was 36 saves on 38 shots, so not exactly the type of performance that would lead you to a benching come the first game of the playoffs.
Well, you wouldn't think so, and Semchak's had a little bit of action early, at least touching the puck. Now he's got his feet wet, so to speak.
Cacciato clears it out. And Okino wraps one back in for Jamestown, but coming to it now will be maybe a 2-on-1 opportunity. Coach down right wing. He shoots one, and a big save there by Brower with the chest as Manaccio was looking for that open rebound. A whistle. 1 minute and 26 seconds into the first period.
Well, Manaccio had the opportunity there. That's right for Robert Morris, and Brower had to be strong on that one on the first odd man rush of this opening period.
Brower, a smaller netminder, only 5'10", 175, but boy, does he like to challenge shooters on those angles. As both teams give up a lot of shots, at least over 35 for both teams. We can expect some offense at both ends, but the goaltenders have been the guys throughout this season as a puck rattles in along the near side corner and out of the half boards. Attempting to clear it out, Tony Dahlberg punches it back in for Robert Morris. Having some trouble? Oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead. I apologize. I was going to say some of these numbers, the save percentages you brought up, more that you see at a D3 level than at the D1.
Over the Dallas Stars center ice logo goes Tony Dahlberg, left wing side. He shoots one, blocker up into the air, and it's a loose puck whacked out of the air, and a second chance. Oh, that was wiped away from the goal line. What an incredible play there by the Jimmies to keep this game 0-0. Sam Turner at the point, shoots one through traffic. Looking for a loose puck was number 9, Joel Molfetta. Couldn't get to it. He's on the backhand now along the point. Left wing side for Manaccio. That shot was blocked away to the near side half wall. Spinning with it is number 9, Brian Crome for Jamestown, but they're not able to get a consecutive pass through the neutral zone. This one's no icing, but wow. The first chance of this game in terms of prime octane scoring opportunity, it goes to the guys in maroon.
Does Brendan Shaber get credit for a save on that last possession in the Jamestown end?
He should. Brower's going to have to buy him a steak after this one if Jamestown's able to pull it off. Lucas Stover to the far side corner, kept in by Jamestown as it's flipped in below. Now for Jason Richter, number 23 in white and orange. Meeting them there is Matt Walton, and a shot there quickly from Bell had to be stopped by the blocker of Semchak. Early chances for both squads, and here comes a flip-out play, maybe a breakaway chance for Separatis. He's in on the backhand, and a nice right pad save by Brower. Flipped along to the left wing. Koch couldn't handle it, and chipped by the glove of Richter, and Rizzo will regroup for RMU.
Boy, we're getting quality scoring chances on both ends now in this last couple of minutes. They're opening it up for sure.
Sam Mancini had a shot, easily gloved by Brower, but it is offside. 3:16 into the first period. So, hey, we talked about it in the pregame show. Goalies standing strong and some great chances at both ends, but still zeros on that scoreboard.
Well, Cale Bell came away with a big shot, and then on the replay right there, you saw that save made by Schauber, for Brower, and now the faceoff is going to be to the right of Brower down in the Jamestown end.
McKechnie gets tossed from the draw. Michael Pruss will take it, but Jamestown almost had a steal as that was number 11, Dylan Haney, who would have been sent in the clear. Along the benches, Jamestown in particular, the Jimmies come away with it to the near side of neutral ice. They flip it in. Rizzo racing to it against McKechnie, no icing. And some two big bodies right out in front, and a one-handed effort from number 11, Haney. Didn't materialize in anything as Semchek covers up. 16:21 left in the first period. So now I think it's opened up a little bit, and we're only under 5 minutes into the first.
Well, McKechnie made a great play that time to set up Dylan Haney for the possible go-ahead goal. But equal to the task that time was Semchek in net for Robert Morris.
Stevens against Koch. Stevens wins the draw for Jamestown, coming free in the high slot. A weak backhanded attempt by Carter Johnson, also snagged by Semchek. 16-17 left in the first period. Faceoffs are always going to be important, Lou, but tying up, you've seen some of these forwards try and get to that loose circle, and I think that's what's been the key for Jamestown is that they can't beat RMU with their speed, they're going to beat them with their size.
Absolutely, and then a defensive faceoff won that time by Robert Morris. That's key, as you mentioned, Cristiano.
And here is Johnson, curl and drag to the left point. A shot from Browning, deflected in the low slot and taken away for RMU, and they hit the center ice logo red line, dumping the puck in. As this is Nitschke. Clearing it in below the cage for RMU. Nitschke coming free with it again. To the right point it goes for Chris Scordilis. His shot is blocked. Koch tried to whack at it. Kept in by RMU along the high slot. Some big hits there from Garrett Browning. You're going to hear me call that guy's name a lot. 6'8", 250 pounds. As Kyle Barron eases it over to the right wing side, but kept in by RMU at the moment. It's number 10, Mike Cacciato. Below the goal line, hitting Nitschke out in front. That was off a skate and the left pad of Tyson Brower. Almost some friendly fire for the Jimmies. It's cleared out to center ice.
Boy, a golden opportunity for Koch that time to try to get that one past Brower, but he just couldn't get his stick on it with that juicy rebound.
Jeremy McNeil, who scored the lone goal for Jamestown in their last season's meeting against the University of Illinois in the round of 20. To get them out of that round of 16, And Jerry McNeil's a guy who, he's got some great hands, only 2 goals in 36 games played. We've talked about it before the game, Lou, that both of these teams, they deserve to be a little higher in terms of their rankings, but their star players just haven't had the type of years that they were hoping for.
Well, that's what we could have as another one of our keys to the game tonight. One of the unsung heroes maybe getting that go-ahead goal late in the third period.
15 minutes left in the first period. Jamestown regroups in their own zone. It's Colson Stebo, the senior defenseman out of Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Turn it over to shot off the goalpost. That was Sam Turner, who beat Brower clean, but couldn't beat the iron. RMU pressuring here, glove down by Stebo. And he flips it out along the red line. Cleared back in by number 27, Dom Minaccio. And tossed by Chrome as the Jimmies go for a change. It's Dahlberg, near side in his own zone, almost along the goal line. Hits a man at the blue line. It's Molfetta. He is pushed back for Minaccio. And for Lucas Stover, the senior defenseman out of Corona, California, a 31-game goal drought, a guy who can score some goals, gets his shot in from the point, but just hasn't found the back of the net. And you know who didn't find the back of the net? It was Sam Turner, who met that left post.
Yeah, a lot of traffic in front of that Jimmy net on that last sequence, and unfortunately for Robert Morris, they couldn't take advantage of it.
Dahlberg stands up respective number 17, Stebo at the line. And Jamestown at their own blue line, they get it. Bottom of your screen here, they engage into the offensive zone. It's number 4, Trevor Okino, who's very active from the back end. We talk about the defense core on both these squads, not afraid to join the rush and provide some offense.
Been very impressed with the play so far tonight of Trevor Okino. As you mentioned, not afraid to throw the body and get that position for the Jimmies.
Richter inadvertently turned the puck over to RMU. Now back in the neutral zone. Along the penalty boxes, it's flipped. Glove down by the captain for RMU. That's Nick Rizzo. Had it swapped away, and here comes McKechnie. He's 1-on-4, so he'll just try and get it deep before going off for a change as it's number 16, Rizzo. Forechecking here are 3 Jimmies, and they're going to steal the puck, including number 10, Michael Pruss. But possession quickly swapping for both of these squads. No fluidity here between these two teams the last half minute or so. Kyle Barron, right point side, shoots one. Oh, that just skipped past the far post as Semchek got a piece of it. Flip back out in front and a tip there as Tyler Kreitz alleviates the pressure from the Jimmies, and RMU skates out.
Well, on that last shot there, it looked like he had a clear vision of the puck, and it handcuffed him, and it almost got by him.
Barron, red line, blue line, left wing side to the left half boards, tipped on in, and Semchek paddles that to the far side corner. As Rizzo, who you may notice, Lou, early on in this game, doesn't leave the ice often. RMU, a short bench as it is, likes to use number 16 and number 6 especially, Tyler Kreitz, who's only playing in his second year in ACHA hockey. The Jimmies outlet it to the near side, also on the penalty boxes. It's Chrome, dumping one past, and here comes number 14, Phoenix McElroy Scott, along that near side corner, tied up with number 19. That was Potter. Outletting is the weak side, Hart. To the near side he goes, but he can only get as far as center, whacked back in by the captain, Richter. Are you noticing a theme here between these two teams?
It still seems like they may be a little bit tentative, especially in the neutral zone, and you don't see the physicality that you saw in that previous game. They're both still trying to feel each other out.
Mancini to Koch, didn't work. It's now Richter to number 27, Brandon Shaber. Hits the circle. Now a late man, that's number 18, Yee. He trips up a man, no call. He lost his lumber in the process. Koch, skating on the left wing side, gains his own, drops one for Cachado. He fires, snagged by Brower with ease. No rebound allowed, and it's 8:27 into the first period. And like we expected, a low-scoring game. It's 0-0.
Well, Nitschke couldn't get down there in time, Cristiano, to block the vision of Brower, so it was a rather easy save for him to get down there. And now that's his fifth save, or sixth save rather, of the night. 6-5, this shot advantage for Robert Morris.
Face off to the right of Brower. At the left circle, the Jimmies feed it out to center ice where it's Pruss. Leaving it there for Dylan Haney. Along the goal line, the near side corner, they tie up. And the puck is played by Nitschke as we get a whistle behind the play with 11:18 left in the first period, the first power play. Well, I believe go to Jamestown, an interference minor on number 27, Dom Minaccio.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, Cristiano. I was like you. I was looking down the other end. So it's indeed going to be the first power play. So we talked about it at the top of the show to see who is going to take advantage of the special teams. We'll see how the power play can perform now for the Jimmies.
Jamestown 14.3% on the power play. That's 7 out of 8 teams in the independent conference. And RMU, their penalty kill, not much better. 77%, that's last in the CSCHL.
Wow. You don't see, with all due respect, you don't see numbers that good for teams that are in a national tournament.
But all it takes is one hot streak, a couple
right.
of kills, maybe a shorthanded goal. As Robert Morse, you may not believe it, 8 shorthanded goals tied for the division lead. And they're playing with Lindenwood, Illinois, Iowa State, Ohio. And man, they are able to put pucks in the back of the net, one man down. They have that situation right now as Minaccio sits 2 minutes for interference. The Jimmies break out over the center ice. Logo now for McKechnie. He gains his own right circle. Shaking on Rizzo. Backhands one to the right point. It's Okino. Okino dancing along that blue line. McKechnie. Cross corner pass. Now for Senstiba. To Jason Richter. Deliberately going down low. A goal line play maybe. Richter fires one, and that's a glove stop by number 1, Cole Semchek.
Semchek looking strong so far in the power play, or the penalty kill, if you will, with a little over minute 20 left. As again, Jamestown tried to clog the center, but he had a perfect eyesight, or a perfect sight line for that shot.
10:39 left in the first period. We're glad you joined us. Cristiano Semeta joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. 0-0 between the Jamestown Jimmies and the Robert Morris University Eagles. To the left point it goes. Jamestown on the power play, Kyle Barron. To the back of the cage, and overskating that was Pruss, and it's easily whacked down by the Eagles. And stopping it will be Brower. Jamestown's first chance with the man advantage in the national tournament, Dylan Haney. Drops it for Barron. Over the left wing side now, flipped into the near side. Pruss, as well as number 16, Cale Bell, but Pruss comes away with it. To the left wing side, skips over the stick of Jeremy McNeil. And Jamestown, whenever they start to get that momentum, it's either a key stop from Semchek or it's their own errors here trying to make passes to the neutral zone. They haven't been sharp.
Well, you're exactly right. Now we're seeing why that they've struggled on the power play. Impressed with the penalty kill, though, with Robert Morris here in this early going.
Down to a half a minute left in the power play. Okino deking at the line. And a tip play now for Okino, and that was deflected off the shoulder of Semchek and wide. We talk about defense turning to offense. A nice chance for number 4 in white and orange.
He also had He also had Cale Bell there going in on goal.
And Richter driving to the net, he scores! An individual effort, it's a power play goal. And Jamestown gets us started.
What a beautiful play that time. Just as you mentioned, can they take advantage of the power play? And one little lapse, as you mentioned. And again, that looks like San Stebo will get credit for the goal, unless I've got the number wrong. And it's 1-0 now in favor of Jamestown. Time of the goal, 10 minutes and 31 seconds.
Now Richter was driving to the front of the net. He went forehand, backhand. Looked like he slipped it through the legs of Semchek, and it just trickled over the goal line. Andy Storrs will give us the specifics. But if it's Richter's goal, it's his 13th of the season. He's got 30 points in his last 37 games. Coming into this one, he's been as hot as ever.
Well, they're talking about it right now. I don't know if they're going to review it or not. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to be a good goal.
And concern from the officials may have been the contact between Jason Richter and Cole Semchek, but nonetheless, it's a 1-0 lead for Jamestown. It's a power play goal. And the guys in white and orange skating strong here after a lackadaisical start. Garrett Browning to the far side corner. RMU trying to respond. It's a steal from Cachado out in front. And Nitchie couldn't get to it. With a high slot, a fadeaway drive from Koch was blocked. Jerry McNeil, the neutral zone, left wing side. He has a man trailing in McElroy Scott. He backhands one behind the cage for McNeil. McNeil, puck still in his skates. Jamestown protecting. A backhand from the goal line coming from Brian Chrome. Nothing could result out of that. Barron to the left wing side. Browning, quick pass for McNeil, but he was unable to pull the trigger. As an active stick from Nitchie. Got in the way of that. 8:50 left in the first period. So you see Jamestown score that goal. So if you're RMU, how do you respond after allowing that deflating goal from a bench perspective?
Well, you can't let up on the pressure. You got to do what they're doing right now. Try to get down back into the zone, create the opportunity, and don't get on your heels. That's the big thing right now. You got to keep the momentum going. Jason
Richter tried for Bryson Yee, and that was offside. 8:29 left in the first period. 1-0 Jamestown over Robert Morris.
Okay, we're still waiting to get the official scoring on the goal. And I think you're right, Cristiano. It was Richter that got the go-ahead goal, as he's going to talk with the officials now during the media timeout. So again, Jamestown, they were able to capitalize on the power play. Special teams big here in this early going. Now I think it's time. The feeling out process is over. Now both teams know their strengths of the opposing team. And if you're Jamestown, this is your chance. Keep the pressure on. Try to get the zone clogged in front of the goaltender to try to get that second goal.
Jamestown up 1-0 over RMU. You are watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships on the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
Over RMU. I'm Cristiano Sinetta, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. And Lou, it's been a fun one to start. Sporadic starts for both these squads. It's the first round, so you have to expect some jitters. But once that puck drops, you got to be perfect, because as we've seen, both these teams can make you pay. As we get a whistle, Brower covers up with 7:57 left in the first.
Well, as you mentioned, it was Richter on an unassisted goal on the power play. A scrum, he was able to get it past the goaltender, Semchek, for Robert Morris, and you're absolutely right. The feeling out process is over now. I think you're going to see a few more chances taken. I think you're going to see a little more physicality on both ends as well.
Sam Turner against Bryson Yee. Jamestown controlling the dot early and often. 7:50 left in the first period. As Jamestown with a long stretch pass. That was Cole Sunstevo, missed everybody. And Tyler Kreitzel hit the hash marks. 12:15 into the first period. So if you're RMU, you got to start playing faster. You got to wake up a little bit, because Jamestown's goaltender, it's Tyson Brower, and he's proven that he could stop a lot of pucks that come his way. 3-1-1 in his last 5. 217 saves in those 5 games. Truly remarkable for the guy who's only 5'10", 175.
Absolutely amazing.
Rizzo walking the line, fires a fadeaway, but it's cleared back. Nitchie unable to retrieve it for his squad. Trevor Okino along the left circle, skating beautifully, looking for a stretch pass. That was tipped away by Rizzo against a streaking Kale Bell, but he reverses it for Okino. Man, doesn't he just resemble a forward the way he's so often in the play? But it may cost him here. A breakaway upcoming. A shot off the post, maybe a double post. Do you believe that? Turner separatus, but it's bang back home. And Robert Morris capitalizes. It's number 43. Jake Nitchie, 1-1, 7:17 left in the first.
Nitchie took advantage of that long rebound off the goalpost, and as you mentioned, he might have hit 2 of them, but he was able to put it past Brower, who really didn't have a chance on that one, as he was fortunate to get that bounce on the breakaway by Separitis off of the turnover, and just like that, we're all tied up at 1.
A great stretch pass. Turner Separitis was in the clear, beat Brower again along that blocker side, hit the post, maybe got a second post, and then it flipped away. And Nitchie with a wide open backhand, he was able to funnel it home. It's his 13th goal of the season. And we have an even ball game. A back coming. It's a great shot from the Jimmies. That was number 22, Kyle Barron. Another flip shot, gloved from the point by Semchek. 1-1, 6:56 left in the first.
Boy, that media timeout couldn't have come at a better time for Robert Morris. As you mentioned, Cristiano, they were a little heavy in the legs and a little bit on their heels after that power play goal. And as you mentioned, a beautiful lead pass to Separitis to come in on goal, and which eventually resulted in that tying goal.
Martin against McKechnie to the right of Semchek, controlled by the guys in white and orange. It's Dylan Haney. A 4-man battle along the half wall. Cleared now to the near side. Kyle Barron pinches, number 22. Now out in front, a quick pass. That was just stifled as Pruss couldn't get the majority of his wood on it. And now Josh Hart tips past Barron. No icing here. Number 24, maroon and goal. He's got a lot of speed. Josh Hart looking out in front, but he couldn't hit number 13, Sam Mancini, the Bloomingdale, Illinois native. Quickly outletting her Jamestown as it's Barron, and right as I say that, they fumble an easy pass. Garrett Browning back into his own zone. 2-line pass, hits off the skate of number 5, Lucas Stover. Jamestown wanted a penalty, they didn't get one. 6:10 left in the first period. As Jamestown may have a 2-on-2 rush. It's Nitchie. Over the blue line, left wing side, drops it for Mancini. He's at the circle, he fires, he had a wide open 6x4 as Brower overcommitted due to the screen, and Mancini missed everything. We get a stoppage, 5:58 left in the first.
I think right at the last second, Cristiano hit the skate of Ned Simpson and went up over the top of the goal, the defenseman for Jamestown. But you're right, it was an early Christmas present for him that time, a wide open opportunity.
And Sam Mancini can surely capitalize. Scored against Illinois in the playoff game. 8 goals this season. Scored Ellis, can handle the puck. Along the red line in front of the benches. Flips one in. Almost gloved down by Cachado. But number 19, Anthony Potter, the freshman defense out of Plainfield, Illinois, got it to Koch, who was bumped down by a couple of Jamestown players, and eventually flipped back in by number 14, Phoenix McElroy Scott, and Semchek will glove it, 5:32 into the first, or left in the first.
Cristiano, the one that I really like, the player I think that's having a great game so far, obviously is Nitchie. He's got the goal, but I love that drop pass on the last possession that set up that goal potential for Robert Morris, and I think he's really establishing himself in the forecheck.
He acts as a moving screen there, and it's completely legal when he drops it to Mancini, and Brower certainly bit, and that could have been 2-1 for RMU. Turner won the draw, but slashed the stick out of the hands of Bell. No penalty as Bell went palms up, but the referees, we talked about it, they're not going to call everything in the playoffs.
No.
I personally disagree with that type of play, because if it's an egregious penalty, you should call it. I'm not sure. There was a call there from Bell. Maybe he's just got to hold on to the stick tighter. The officials will tell him after a couple whistles. This is Turner. Over the left wing. Nice move. He'll try and do the backhand. But lifted it high, and he met the glass. And now Joel Molfetta to the far side. Lost it now. Rizzo trying to recover. He turns it over to Jamestown. Jason Richter over the red line, now over the circle. But he was blocked away, and a 4-on-3 rush coming from Robert Morris. Dahlberg missed the pass. It's a 2-on-1 for Jamestown. Cale Bell, left wing side, has Richter cutting. And Bell shoots, and Richter, he almost had a wide open 6x4, but the back pressure from Rizzo prevented him from doing that. 4:34 left in the first period. A couple of odd man rushes for both of these squads, but it's still a 1-1 game as RMU goes for a fire wagon of a full sail change.
One of the things I'm noticing with Jamestown right now, Cristiano, they look a little dead on the defensive end. Robert Morris has got to try to take advantage of that.
Chavez Leach up to Carter Johnson. Behind the goal, he's on his backhand. Koch, a wanded poke check. And it works there. And look at the speed from Scott Koch. Blue line, right wing side. Bad angle shot, and that's off the pad of Brower. And almost a rebound chance for number 15, Matt Walton. This puck is cleared back into Brower. An easy save. 3:57 left in the first period, still 1-1.
Boy, I had Walton going down to the goaltender's right there. It looked like he had an opportunity, but again, Brower right at the last second, Cristiano, he got the pad out because I thought it was going to be it was a very good anticipation play that time by Robert Morris.
Yeah, both these goaltenders control their rebounds, so it's tough to find those second chance opportunities. Well, just ask Sam Turner. All you got to do, Tanner Sesperitis, all you got to do is hit a couple of posts, and that'll open up the chance for you. 3:48 left in the first. It's McKechnie down the near side corner. Wraps it now around the cage. To the end boards it goes. Lucas Stover trying to release the puck, was unable to do it. After the possession by Jamestown. Long shot deflected just wide. That came off the stick of Ned Simpson with a couple bodies in front. And Shaber gloves the puck down to his stick, rifling in around the dasher. Josh Hart to the far side corner. Dodges a hit from Haney, and Hart flips up to Ryan Martin. And Martin leads the team in assists and points. With 32 in 37 games, he's had a quiet first period. But it doesn't matter. His team has been holding up the fort 1-1 through the first 16:50.
Again, like the speed of Robert Morris trying to establish pressure in that offensive zone.
Anthony Potter, who played in the GMHL last year, 34 points. And that caught the eye of Robert Morris's scouts, and they're lucky to have number 19 on their team. He's been a great addition. 2-on-2 the other way over the center ice logo. It's Okino dropping one quickly for McNeil, but he was unable to pull the trigger. And Potter on the near side corner. And look who's right in on the forecheck, Lou. It's Trevor Okino. Now, it burned Jamestown last time, but they seem to have guys back just in case of a stretch pass coming from RMU. One of those guys is number 9, Brian Crome. And a shot quickly from number 14, McElroy Scott, as the puck was centered into the slot. Easily paddled away by Semchak. 2:28 left in the first.
Good play to set up McElroy Scott on that possession, but what impressed me too on the last rush was how Scott Koch got back on that 2-on-2 break. He was able to get the poke check right at the last second, just enough to alter that shot to keep it a 1-1 tie.
Yes, Scott Koch, one of the fastest players on RMU, 19 goals, 12 assists. Both of those are career highs. And Scott Koch, a junior, 17 points in his last 17 games. He could be the guy Robert Morris turns to as the game progresses. A shot wide from Bell, past the glove of Semchak, and out to neutral ice. Kyle Barron along the dot, now to Bryson Yee. Far side option now, tipped in by Browning, and that one will go into the glove. A great catch by Chris Mallon, who flashes the leather. You know, if you're the backup goaltender, you got to stay involved somehow. You never know when your number's called. We get a stoppage, 2:02 left in the first.
Well, that's indeed a great way to get into the game. Like you said, you never know, but I like now Jamestown picking up the pace a little bit in this last 45 seconds as they look to get in what I like to call my crunch time. The last 2 minutes of each period. Who gives up those goals, which could be a big momentum swing like we saw last in the game, in the Oklahoma game?
Mancini with the shot, and Martin responding on the rebound. Both shots stopped by Brower. Another whistle. 1:54 left in the first period. And it looks like the scouting report on Brower's go low. Even though he's a smaller goaltender, he's been pushing out some of those rebounds, and Robert Morris has had the second, the third. They're not getting one and dones over the past couple possessions they've had. Martin tied up on the draw with number 13, McKechnie. And it's outletted for Jamestown, who will change up their defensive groups. And a long stretch pass hoping for Ryan Martin. Missed number 3 in maroon and gold. As Colson Stebo hits the hash marks. Another whistle. 1:43 left in the first period. So crunch time, it's starting to die down a little bit. The energy from both these teams. It's going to be crucial for RMU to win this faceoff.
Oh, absolutely. One thing that I've noticed in this game, not too many defensive faceoffs won on either side, and that's key, especially as you mentioned in this crunch time. Minute 43 left in the opening period to try to keep it a 1-1 tie.
McKechnie versus Martin, round 2. It's a tie-up utilizing the right wing forward in number 6, or rather, that's Kreitz, the defenseman, on that right wing side of the faceoff. Rizzo dangling through a pair of jimmies. That was McKechnie and Haney, the captain for RMU, getting it out to center along the red line. Senstivo wands one back in. Kreitz is lapped by number 13, McKechnie. We said his name a lot in the early set of 20. 1:19 left in the first period. And here's Michael Pruss, a tight angle shot. Stopped and no rebound allowed from the stick or glove of Cole Semchak.
Smart play by Semchak to hang on to the puck as it looked a little helter-skelter in front of the goal there with, just over a minute left. And you mentioned it earlier too, Cristiano. You're saying Nick Rizzo's name a lot, and the amount of ice time he's had in this opening period hasn't lost a step.
Face-off won by Yee to the right side, Senstivo. And a long flip shot coming and easily stopped. You hear the word easily followed by stop because these plays have been similar between these two teams. When they get offensively sustained zone time, it's been from the perimeter if it's not an odd man rush.
Exactly. You haven't seen the middle plugged at all. Maybe just on a couple of attempts for Jamestown, but they haven't come close to getting it past them except on the power play.
Richter retrieves it for his team with 65 seconds left in the opening frame. It's Okino going straight away, and he lost the puck. Nitsche may have a break. Red line, blue line, left wing side, and a shot, and easily again. It's stopped by Brower because of the back pressure coming from Jamestown. So whenever these teams seem to make a mistake, it's the next man up. Doesn't matter if you're a defenseman or a forward. When you see Nitsche almost 1-on-0 with the goaltender, you got to skate as fast as you can, as hard as you can to get in that lane.
Well, it was a great defensive play by the Jimmies as Josh Hart was coming down looking for maybe a pass or any type of a rebound, but you called it. Nothing, gobbled right up.
Browning to the far side with 49 seconds left in the first. Richter gains a blue line, right wing side, toe drag effort. The shot met the end boards, whacked by Bell, and holding will be Semchak with 39.7 left in the first period.
Good defensive play that time by Robert Morris, just giving up a very odd angled shot, low percentage shot that time that Semchak was able to stop that one very easily.
Face off to the right of Semchak. Sam Turner against number 14, Phoenix McElroy Scott. McElroy Scott had 10 goals last year, 5 this year. He loses the draw, it's flipped out to the center ice logo, and Barron lofts one up ahead. Gloved down by a pair of players, one on either side, but it's eventually forked free by Kreitz, and now Turner circles back along the ACHA logo in the defensive zone for Robert Morris. It's Turner revving up the wheels again. He turned the puck over, though, at the blue line. That was Chrome with a chance, but Turner makes up for the gaff, goes in right wing side. He tried a mini toe drag. Dahlberg spinning out in front, a great play, maybe a second chance coming from number 9, Joel Molfetta. But Brower was aware of it, and with 2 seconds and 1 left in the first period, that is how we will end the first set of 20. Ones are wild in Frisco, Texas, Lou Gamlin. Jamestown with the response as RMU had that first goal, and it's been the other way around. Richter started the scoring, and then Nitsche responded. So we move into this second period now. We'll have the first period intermission report in just a couple of minutes here. We'll break out that crystal ball again. How do you think your initial prediction panned out, and what do you see for the second set?
Well, what's funny is both teams came out very nervous in the first 4 or 5 minutes. Then they each were able to get one goal, and it looked like maybe it was going to open up a little bit. But you brought up a very good point about the teams couldn't really get any momentum going throughout the first period, Cristiano. I don't know if it was just sloppiness, execution-wise, but it's still, to me, it looks like both teams are still trying to figure each other out even after 20 minutes.
And I think that's the way it's going to go for the rest of this game, because you look at the strength of schedule for both these squads. They play a lot of CSCHL. They play the Iowa States. They play the Illinois, even the Lindenwoods from time to time. And you'll see Lindenwood play tomorrow, the #1 team in the country. And they play a similar type of game, too. They're big, heavy guys, but RMU, they have had the early jump in terms of speed, and we saw that in the first period, especially from guys like Kosh and Nitsche.
One of the things I noticed, too, that you called it about 4 minutes left in the period. The referees are letting things go. And it almost caught, I think, Jamestown on one occasion and then Robert Morris on another when they were looking for – Jamestown was looking for too many men on the ice, and then the other one was the holding of the stick. And it's just like they stopped right there. Any momentum they had. Jamestown looked like they had their legs got a little heavy with about 4 minutes to go on the defensive side of the ice. But then Robert Morris a little bit earlier, they looked like they were in the same boat. But the other thing that really impressed me is they both gave up a goal, and it was almost like it didn't bother them. I don't know if they're trying to regroup. Is that why they had the heavy legs? But what I'm looking for, again, now in this second period at least, is who's going to take charge and, who's going to try to get that momentum and get the foot on the throat.
Jason Richter got us started. He led the charge for Jamestown. Responding was Jake Nitchie. He's Lou Gamlin. I'm Cristiano Simonetto. 1-1 Jamestown against Robert Morris. We'll be right back with the second period in about 15 minutes. You're watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships presented by the ACHA Network.
Enter the workforce with an edge with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Jamestown. With this undergraduate program offered at our Jamestown campus, you'll benefit from smaller class sizes, more one-on-one time with our caring and committed faculty, and a core curriculum designed to enhance communication skills with state-of-the-art labs and software. Become a more well-rounded critical thinker as an engineer with a Mechanical Engineering degree at the University of Jamestown.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Enter the workforce with an edge with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Jamestown. With this undergraduate program offered at our Jamestown campus, you'll benefit from smaller class sizes, more one-on-one time with our caring and committed faculty, and a core curriculum designed to enhance communication skills with state-of-the-art labs and software. Become a more well-rounded critical thinker as an engineer with a Mechanical Engineering degree at the University of Jamestown.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
Nice to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi.
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
And welcome inside the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. I'm Cristiano Smith, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. If you just joined us, you missed the first period between the University of Jamestown Jimmies against the Robert Morris University Eagles, a 16 and 17 seeded matchup. So we expected a tightly contested game, and after 20 minutes, it's tied at 1.
It certainly is. Both teams came out a little bit tentative in the first 5 minutes. And then they started to pick the pace up a little bit. Then the only penalty called was against Robert Morris, and James Richter was able to get an unassisted power play goal at 10:31. And then Robert Morris was able to answer back 2 minutes later on a nifty move as Kasparaitis came down with a shot that clanged off the goalpost. We think it was twice, and then Nitschke was able to bury it past Brower, the goaltender for Jamestown. Cristiano, one of the things we talked about before we went to the break was, how even it was, and it was kind of choppy, I think. It was both good play and defensive play, but some miscues that I was kind of surprised at on both teams. Really wasn't an even flow throughout the whole first period.
Yeah, the fundamentals, I think, were lacking in some areas for both these teams, whether it is that first pass out of your own defensive zone or just a tape-to-tape pass through the neutral zone. We saw both these teams. You hear the cliche time and time again, the feeling out process. Well, it's two teams. They have some nerves. It's a win-or-go-home atmosphere, and if you win, you know who you're facing in the next round. You could fill in the blank for me.
Well, 14-13, the shots advantage for Jamestown. But another point that you brought up that I really liked was you don't see the long rebounds from either one of these goalies in the opening period. I really like that. I saw that a lot in the last game in Oklahoma and Drexel, and it almost cost Oklahoma after having a big lead. So really like the goaltender play. And the one thing I think is going to be key is the defensive possession off the face-off. We didn't see a whole lot of that. It was mostly the offensive zone wins on the offensive team. So we'll see how that changes. That's going to be big for me here in this first 6 or 7 minutes of the second period.
And how about the goalies, too? When Tyson Brower and Cole Semchek were tested time and time again in that first period, whether it's an odd man rush or sustained offensive zone pressure, they have held down the fort for their clubs. Only one goal allowed for the respective netminders. Do you expect the goalies to maintain that central force between who wins this hockey game?
I have no reason to doubt that they won't, Cristiano. I really think that they're playing huge in this opening period, and they're going to have to keep this game in their favor. And I think it may come down to just one mental error to be the difference. And as these two teams go up to the winner to take on Lindenwood.
And an interesting decision made by the Jamestown Jimmies head coach Cole Bell. Cole captains. So you got Colson Stebo wearing a C and Jason Richter as well. And they're on the same line, so that doesn't make our jobs a lot easier.
No, it doesn't, and it kind of confused me anyways on that go-ahead goal for Jamestown on the power play. But, hey, you know what? Maybe he's trying something different to maybe mix up Robert Morris a little bit.
Since Stebo on the back end, maybe he serves as the defensive captain, and then up front Richter on the right wing. But they're on the ice together a lot because, hey, they're expected to lead this club as we're about 60 seconds, maybe under that, before the second period puck drop. Robert Morris will be going from left to right in their maroon and gold uniforms. Jamestown will be going from right to left in their white and orange uniforms. If you're just joining us again, Cristiano Sonetta, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. You're watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships, the round of 16 between these two teams, and we're off for the second. It is Senstebo, who got flattened there. My goodness, captain on captain violence. Nick Rizzo lowering the boom on number 17, Senstebo. And he'll get right on the horse and slap it back for Okino, who fumbles with it a bit. A forechecking effort from Ryan Martin, but Okino skates away swiftly and smoothly.
Okino with a great start in that opening period. You brought it up, Cristiano. He's been Johnny on the spot everywhere.
And he's in the far side corner on the forecheck for Jamestown right now in the first 35 seconds of the second period. It comes free for the captain of RMU, Rizzo. On the near side corner, Richter trying to steal it from him. Mancini lending a hand too in the near side corner of the RMU defensive zone. Mancini and Richter go down. No calls as the referees only had to raise their arm for one minor penalty in the opening frame, and Richter scored that power play goal. It was a interference minor on Dominaccio. Martin, one hands, one in. This will be gloved by Brower. 1:05 into the second period, 1-1.
Well, Brower, a good play that time to glove it up. Coming at him right at the last second was the player I think that's been the number one player for Robert Morris, besides the goaltender Nitschke, who had that goal, as he was bearing down to try to get any kind of a rebound.
Speaking of Nitschke, he won the draw. Bit of a tie-up following in the low slot, but kept into the line by Anthony Potter with one hand on his stick. Puck comes in below the goal line, now along the end boards and behind the cage, and this is going to be an interference minor, I believe, on number 9. That's Brian Kroll. And
yeah,
that's
that looked
the signal from the official.
That looked pretty obvious that time, Cristiano. The referee's hand went right up, so it'll be the second power play of the night here in this contest. It'll be the first one for Robert Morris, so we'll see what they can do on special teams with it at their advantage.
And Robert Morris on the power play, 11.8%. That's last in the CSCHL. But Jamestown, 87.5%. That's second among all independent ACHA Division I teams. Once again, Chrome sits 2 minutes for interference. And RMU wins the draw. Stover to the far side, Cachado rather. And Nietzsche to the goal line, back to the hash mark. Stover winds and fires. No traffic there, so it was gloved by Brower. And if you're RMU, you got to get some bodies in front of him because that's just another day at the office for number 1.
That's a great point. I was just going to bring it up. You've got to get somebody right in front of the crease to block Stover's vision, or Brower's vision rather, or else, you know, the power play is going to go for naught.
Dahlberg racing after it against Browning. Cachado helping him as well. Browning tosses one to the near side, kept in by Nietzsche. And Browning fires one off the high glass. And Semchak will touch up and set the play back up for his team. 18:08 left in the second period. Under 90 seconds left on the power play for RMU.
Well, it helps when you've got somebody on defense like number 24 for Jamestown and Ned Simpson. Boy, he is one big galoot.
Over the red line, blue line, left wing side, Ryan Martin does a pirouette, fires the puck in for Molfetta. He lets it go. To the near side, Mancini eases one to Rizzo. He goes to the top of the umbrella, tip just wide in front by Molfetta. To the far side, Sam Turner. And Browning again, and he whiffed on that chance. He'll get a second crack at it maybe. Molfetta not allowing an easy exit. Martin intercepts a pass. Now for Rizzo, 50 seconds up in the power play for RMU. Martin, right circle. Going to the goal line for Molfetta. Steered towards his backhand, now goes to his forehand along the circle. And again for Rizzo straightaway. To the left wing side. Turner, great pass from Molfetta. He fires right past it. Rebound, and they score! Sam Mancini! And it's 2-1 RMU. A couple of power play goals between these two teams. It was Richter in the first, Mancini in the second.
Well, the second power play unit for Robert Morris did the job exactly what you were talking about, Cristiano. They got somebody in the slot area in front of the crease, and the long rebound, Brower couldn't see it, and it was a great goal by Mancini on the power play. Time of the goal, 2 minutes and 46 seconds, and we've got a 2-1 Robert Morris lead.
Their first lead of the night, and it all starts, Lou, with that pass along the Royal Road from Sam Turner over to Molfetta. The shot was patted away by Brower, but you know, if you're Sam Mancini, it's going to be an excellent opportunity to snag your 9th goal of the season. He does that, past the sprawling Brower, and scoops up the ice in his celebration. It's 2-1 RMU, 17 minutes left in the second period. Now it's Jamestown's turn to answer back. They've got some offensive zone time themselves. It's Chrome who took that minor penalty. Interesting to see how his first shift, since being in the sin bin, when his team allowed that goal. McNeil on the far side corner. Couldn't free the puck away for his team. Scott Koch, one hand on a stick, going to use his wheels along the left wing side. Trying to backhand one in. Cachado racing the far side corner. But it was the glove of Tyson Brower steering that side chance away. 16:36 left in the second.
Joel Molfetta got the only assist on that power play goal for Robert Morris. And another player I wanted to bring up, almost like the quarterback on that power play, Rizzo. You've talked about him all night. He kept the puck in, was able to feed Molfetta, and he set up Mancini for that go-ahead goal.
Mancini out of Bloomingdale, Illinois. And he can really fire the puck, and especially, we saw it in that first period. He had that chance, may have gone off a skate as Skordillis fires one, and that one's deflected off of the paraphernalia of another defenseman. More on that chance on Mancini later, but it's played back in by Jamestown. First one to it is Bell behind the cage, Skordillis. With a pass on the near side, Martin. Flips it along the short glass. Now it's Browning at the red line. He goes cross corner, and chasing after will be number 19, Anthony Potter, a freshman defenseman out of Plainfield. 16 minutes left in the second period. But going back to Mancini's goal, a great passing play from RMU. And when you take penalties like that, It doesn't matter if your power play 0%,
Right.
50%. It's the national tournament. All you need is one good set, one good zone entry, a couple of great passes, and you've got yourself a lead.
And it has tilted the momentum down into the side, into the Jamestown end for Robert Morris, as we're almost 5 minutes into this one, and they've outshot him 6-0.
Ned Simpson to the near side now as Jamestown attempts to outlet. And it's McKechnie using his big frame now to the side of the goal. Backhand, that was off the outside of the cage. McKechnie again, spinning one out for Dylan Haney, who had that earlier backhanded chance. Some zone time for the Jimmies. It's Michael Pruss. Right wing side, left wing side, and a slap shot coming from Shaber. But he was off the mark on that one. A nice backhander. The UFO was saucered down, and it's Stover behind the cage. That's a very hot pass to catch. And RMU outlets.
Cristiano, on that last shot, he had an opening, and the goaltender, Semchek, he was shielded. And if he would have got the wood on it, or the fiberglass, whatever you want to call it these days, that could have very easily went right behind him up top shelf.
Yeah, Shaver with a good pass across, but you know, sometimes you take your eye off it, you blink possibly, but he did have that wide open short side cage. This game still remains 2-1 in favor of RMU. A shot and a glove stop on Tyler Chavez Leach's drive. Semchek makes it look easy. 5:16 into the second period. Shots are 19-15 in favor of RMU.
First shot of the second period for Jamestown, and that was a quick one. Nice wrister that time by Chavez Leach.
Stevens won the draw to the left point, Okino. Now for number 6, Carter Johnson. Johnson going behind the cage on the wrap chance. Never got anything with that, as this is Josh Hart over the red line. Trying to dangle through a pair. Was unable to do so. RMU funnels the puck back in. Martin on the forecheck. It's backhanded from Okino to the far side. Vincent Stebo. Okino will wait behind his own goal. There's 3 forecheckers for RMU. They seem to be allowing Jamestown to exit. Let's see how it pans out for him. A nice dangle there coming from Stebo. Nick Rizzo, smart there, gets it back to center.
Boy, there's that name again, Nick Rizzo, getting a lot of PT here. And we're going to get an icing call, but what another nice play right at his own blue line. Good poke check to get that puck out of there.
And if you're Nick Rizzo and you see a guy skating right towards you, well, you're 6'1", 210, so hey, it's either you beat me with some moves or else I'm just going to knock you down on your backside, as we've seen right off that opening draw. Rizzo with a huge hit on Stebo, captain on captain.
And it ended up resulting in a icing call against Jamestown, so Robert Morris had the opportunity.
Cachado, his drive was blocked partially and stick the side of the far side corner by Brower. Rizzo to the top of the point. Now below the goal line for Mancini, the goal scorer in the second period. He gets another chance in that one, or rather that was Nitschke, but gloved by Brower on the short side. Nice bit of passing there from Koch and Nitschke.
Separitis as well, I believe, was in on that one. And Nitschke, he had the opportunity. Fortunately for Brower, he was able to get the clear look at it, but boy, the play still tilted deep in that Jamestown end.
Koch on the draw, he won it cleanly for Kreitz. Angles one to the end boards, flipped aside by number 22, Kyle Barron, kept in by RMU Cachada. He's got some wheels. He goes skate the stick, and speaking of sticks, Barron has lost his, and now he's gotten one back from his respective forward, Phoenix McElroy Scott, and kept in there by Skordillis. So this is huge here if RMU is able to possess the puck. This is the long change, and there's only 4 guys with a twig if you're Jamestown, but they get it over the center ice logo. This is a shot from number 9, Brian Crome, and I believe everybody's got the right equipment now. A shot coming from Ned Simpson was just deflected wide, and McNeil tried a bad angle chance. Didn't get anything out of it. 12:58 left in the second period, 2-1 in favor of RMU Illinois. Semchek sets it up on a tee for number 19, Anthony Potter. Potter banks the puck to the neutral zone. Bell intercepts, and he gets knocked down by Potter, but it looked like Potter got most of the glass. Nonetheless, it's Koch driving over the blue line. Now for Nitschke. Sent back to the left wing side for Potter. Spinning drive from Koch. Easy stick save for Brower. To the near side, it's lofted ahead. No icing here as Stover was back at his own blue line. 12:23 left in the second period, 2-1 Eagles.
Jamestown is going to have to figure out the defensive zone of Robert Morris. There are only 2 shots, and here we got a penalty call coming up to Robert Morris. But I was going to say, the only 2 shots they had on goal, Cristiano, were from the point right at the blue line. And you're not going to win too many games if that's the only pressure you're going to get, especially when he's got a wide open view of that shot.
Kale Bell, you mentioned it. He was knocked down by Lucas Stover. Number 5 in maroon and gold will sit for 2. And if you're Jamestown, this is a prime opportunity to get back in this game, tie this game, and get rolling from there.
You talk about you want to shift the momentum a little bit. They don't have it right now, but this is an opportunity for them, getting the face-off in the Robert Morris end with the power play. 1 for 1 on the power play. Try to get it back up, maybe to go 2 for 2 to get it to a 2-2 tie.
Michael Pruss leads the Jimmies in assists with 23. He loses the draw, and Nick Rizzo, did you think he was going to be out here for this PK? He goes 200 feet.
Quarterbacks, all the special teams. Maybe he's going to be the leader. Well, we won't have a shootout, but he probably is that too.
And Turner off a turnover. His shot was blocked away in the high slot, but he gets it back. So the Eagles, who have 8 short-handed goals this season, will rag some time as Turner wires one down the ice. But Jamestown trying to respond. It's McNeil, Jerry McNeil, over the center ice logo. Eases it for Tyler Chavez-Leach. He ranges one in along the far side, angled by Pruss. Just barely kept in. Slapped at by Jamestown. Lack of fluidity once again. His falling is Kyle Barron, but luckily there's a man at the right point. Barron, straightaway, has McNeil, left wing, hits him, firing, looking for a deflection. The puck was just in the crease, and Turner was there for RMU to excavate and clear. 11:17 left in the second, 1 minute left in the power play.
That was the first juicy rebound we've seen all night, isn't it? It was right there for the taking. Unfortunately for Jamestown, they couldn't get a hold of it, and Robert Morris was able to clear.
With a lot of speed, it's Phoenix McElroy Scott along the far side wing, now to the corner. And to the near side, it's Jason Richter stopping and starting along the goal line. That's around Skordillis. And one of the co-captains gets it right across now for Okino along the right circle. It was a bit too in front of him as the left-handed defenseman had to double back for Steva. To Richter, left circle, steps in, fires, and that just got a bit of the shoulder of Semchak, and it's slapped to the left wing side. Richter takes a hit and keeps the puck in momentarily. Hart gets it out. 14 seconds left in the man advantage for Jamestown.
Bryson Yee had an opportunity on that last rush. He was parked right out in front of the net. Couldn't come up with that pass, and he definitely had an opening.
Cole McKechnie knocked to the ice by Skordillis. We're back to 5-on-5 as Stover exits the box. Richter, and a quick shot there from McKechnie. A bit of a broken down play, Lou, but RMU gets it back, and they'll hope to gain the red line and clear it in.
McKechnie, a strong play that time to get the shot off, but it went up right over the top of the goal, so no blood, no foul, so to speak, for Robert Morris.
We've hit the halfway point of the hockey game, 9:50 left in the second period, 2-1 RMU over Jamestown. And the Eagles break out 2-on-2. Cachado, right wing side, gains the blue line. To the hash marks it goes. Now to the near side corner, Cachado again. Steps in when looking for a backdoor feed. As I believe that was number 22, Scott Koch, who's been involved in a lot of the offense. Cachado missed the pass. It is Manaccio. His shot goes wide off a stick. And Rizzo, tight angle drive, missed everything. And Manaccio has some trouble. Puck trickles back out of the neutral zone. And a couple of hits there as Nitsche embrace a check from Crone.
Cachado with a couple of good passes on that last rush for Robert Morris. It looks like we're going to get an icing call coming up. Again, the pressure being applied by Robert Morris after the penalty kill. Good penalty kill if you're Robert Morris, but you brought up a great point. Kind of a disjointed power play for Jamestown. The second line on the power play a little bit better with Yee parked out in front, just couldn't capitalize.
Well, with both these goalies, Lou, you're going to need some traffic, or else you're not going to be able to beat them on a shot from the point because these goalies are too good at this level. As Jamestown controls the draw, Michael Pruss, his brother Alan Pruss, who has 7 points in his last 5 games, is out tonight. I wonder if we'll see him at any point in the tournament if Jamestown is able to be victorious. Now, this is softly backhanded on as Semchek had some trouble with it. We're used to seeing these goaltenders handle those first opportunities if they're from low percentage areas. We get a whistle and a stoppage. 8:45 left in the second period. We're going to go to break. You are watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships presented by the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
Center, Frisco, Texas. I'm Cristiano Sonetta, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. Lou, we mentioned the word fun in that first period. How about this second period? Some action at both ends, a power play for each team, but it's Sam Mancini capitalizing for RMU. 2-1 for the guys in maroon and gold. He's
definitely the difference so far in this game in the second period. You brought up a good point right about the break where Semchek had a little trouble with the puck. It looked like he took his eye off the shot right at the last second. I don't know if he's number 24 for Jamestown, and I don't blame him. Ned Simpson was bearing down on him, and I think it took him off by surprise for a moment and almost costed him the goal.
And I think that's going to be the type of goals we see from this point on. If it's not going to be an odd man rush, a shot from Skordillis goes wide of the blocker. It's going to be those greasy goals in the area around the crease. Maybe a weak shot, first shot, but now speaking of a prime chance here, it's Prater on the backhand of the forehand, but that stopped as Brower closed the wickets. And a shot coming from Turner was blocked. So a defenseman again in the rush for RMU. We saw Okino being a big part of it for Jamestown. A blue liner getting a chance, as that was number 19, Anthony Potter. But Brower closed the door. Sam Turner, a nice move at the red line. Blue line right wing side. He's got some speed. Two men cutting that. A shot. An easy pad save for Brower. Mancini, his cross pass was blocked away. But Mancini will get it right back. He'll hit the blue line, go cross corner once again. Senstibo rattling one along the boards, and that'll pop up into the air. Back on a stick of Senstibo. The second chance is the charm, but too many men on the ice penalty, I believe, for Robert Morris. 12:42 into the second period, and for a team that has a 2-1 lead, you can't be taking penalties like that.
No, you can't, and those are the penalties that drive coaches crazy. You know, the miscommunication out there. One of the things that I liked in the last sequence, Cristiano, was on the defensive side for both teams, 2-on-2 breaks, but the defenseman hustled back to take away any opportunity to get down towards the goal. But now a big break for Jamestown. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. This will be their second power play of the night. Their third power play, 1 for 2.
Matt Walton will serve it. 7:17 left in the second period. Shots are 24-18 in favor of RMU, but it's Jamestown's chance with the 5-on-4. McNeil, left circle. Had a couple of chances that last power play. And a weak side chance as Richter with the shot from the point, but Semchek sprawling out. A little bit of a split play, looking like Jonathan Quick a bit to take away the lower part of the net. And Semchek, flexible as they are in the ACHA, he can take away a lot of angles quickly. And that was a chance for Richter. Are those the type of plays, if you're Jamestown, you want to start making? Because, like we said, the goalies are great. Maybe get some traffic and might as well a slap pass or two.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to make that play, because if you can get some type of some garbage on the doorstep, right at the blue line or right at the crease area, he'll make a great save. He's sprawled out on all fours face down. You can put it behind him.
Senstibo gains a line, plays pitch and catch with number 13. That was McKechnie. To the far side it goes Richter. Both the co-captains out on this power play. They go wing to wing. And Okino shot deflected out in front as That was your man Bryson Yee. And he's going to want to have that one back as he elevated the puck, but just a little bit too much. May have gotten the stick of Semchek as well.
Thomas Holstom type there for Jamestown, parking himself right out, sacrificing his body. But that's what you need. That you got to cause traffic in front of these goalies, because if you don't, they're too good to let them get the wide open shot, wide open angles.
He is victorious against Martin. At the dot, 45 seconds left in the power play for Jamestown. To the far side it goes, and Stebo has Okino straight away, hits him. He moves into the wrist shot, and strike one. As it looks for Cole Semchek. Doesn't even break a sweat.
No. And that's just what we talked about. He had a wide open look at that one. And again, another opportunity for Robert Morris to win this defensive draw to try to eat up a little more power play time.
Martin gets a second crack at it, is successful. Lucas Stover dekes behind the goal and fires it away for RMU. Brower will set it up for Okino. One last rush for Jamestown with 25 seconds left in the power play, 5:40 left in the second period. Dangling along the line will be Yee, going wide on Stover. Throwing one out in front. Missed everybody, but it's back at the point for Stebo. Richter. Left wing side, good saucer pass, out in front, and oh, what a spectacular save by Semchek on Yee, kept the line not out. Stebo with a drive, rebound, loose, it's in the crease. Semchek is down, and somehow, how does he do it, Lou? He gets over, covers up the puck in the blue paint. 14:43 into the second period. We're back to 5-on-5.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Semchek must have heard us talking in between the first and second intermission about the player of the game, and he said, I'm going to make the plays to make myself the player of the game, and he proved it right there. Down on all fours on his backside, making 3 huge saves at least, as the power play really was effective, except he did everything but put the puck past him. So great play by Semchek to keep it a 2-1 game.
Now to the right point, Barron. Looking out in front, and another stick save there as the shot coming from number 14, Phoenix McElroy Scott. Tried to go low on Semchek. He gets the blade in front of it. Puck goes out of play. 5:10 left in the second period. But if RMU wins this game, Lou, that save on Yee in front, that's an example of post-to-post movement. And Semchek dazzling there.
Well, I got to tell you real quick, Cristiano, on that last shot, Chrome was coming right in front of him, and right at the last second, that kick save by Semchek, you're right. He's really making a claim for it.
Browning behind his own goal, skating through 2 Eagles. A bit of a dangerous play. Scordillas on it for RMU. Flips it in, wide of the far post. And Chrome had the puck taken off his stick. By number 17, that's Tony Dahlberg. A shot was blocked, and now maybe a breakaway upcoming for Jerry McNeil, but closing the gap, but he's going to keep going. Jerry McNeil almost had a chance at the front of the net, as that was Tyler Kreitz angling him off. A bad pass from number 27 of Jamestown. That was Brandon Shaber. RMU back on the attack, but they'll go for a change first. 4:20 left in the second period.
Well, I think the ice is tilted now on the side of Robert Morris as Jamestown has caught up in the shots on goal. They've really had the pressure on in the last, I'd say, 4 minutes.
Walton, his exit pass didn't get anywhere. Shot from the point, deflecting the low slot. And it's Cachado. Hitting Walton. He'll gain the left wing side. Flipped, blockered away to the far side corner by Brower. Behind the goal it goes. And Shaber, the junior defenseman out of Alberta, Canada. 9-game pointless streak, hoping to snap that. This will be in icing. 16-16 into the second period. 2-1 RMU.
Well, we talked a little bit about the disjointed play in the first period between these two teams. I think that has changed in a way, as Robert Morris, obviously they had the momentum the first 8 or 9 minutes of the game, leveled off. Jamestown has taken it over. They haven't accomplished anything as far as tying it up, but the momentum has definitely been on their side.
Quick shot by Mancini off the draw. This will be a hand pass, so we'll get a whistle, but Sam Mancini has been involved, and he's been involved a lot. Points in 7 out of his last 8 games now. And for RMU, a team that has been struggling to score against higher-ranked opponents. They only had 1 goal against Illinois, but against Jamestown, they've got 2 against a tough goaltender in Tyson Brower that doesn't allow multiple goals a lot.
No.
Face-off controlled by Jamestown. Shaber wrists one around to the far side, and now to the neutral zone. Go the Jimmies, but Hart eases one back for Lucas Stover. 2-line pass, block the line, maybe off the linesman. gets sent back in by Michael Pruss. 3:20 left in the second period. Still 2-1 RMU. And a couple of players communicating by Jamestown. They wanted to push the puck in, but Ned Simpson just threw it in. Doesn't matter, they've got the puck now. And Josh Hart tried to hit Mancini at the center ice logo. Couldn't do it. Pace is dying out just a little bit, Lou, as we saw it opened up in that second period, and even with the man advantages. But Bryson Yee trying to change that for his club and tie this game before we go to the second intermission.
Well, that's a great point. The little bit of confusion on the Jamestown end in the offensive zone. Robert Morris really not able to take advantage of that because they look a little tired.
Wraparound chance in front. The net comes off its moorings as Jason Richter, he drove to the net once in the first period, worked out, got a goal, tried it in the second period on the wrap chance. Semchak was keen to that. 2:42 left in the second period, 2-1 RMU.
First time we've seen that tonight where the net has come off its moorings, and Semchak's been the star of this second period as Jamestown, again, they've tied the shots up at 26 apiece. The key to that stat was they were down. They were outshot, I think, 9-1 at one point in the second period.
Face off to the right of Semchak. His teammates win it. Stover to Minaccio, and it goes out of play. 2:34 left in the second period. But you mentioned Semchak. He's been the star of this second period, and if he keeps it up, he's going to be getting an interview at the end of this one for sure.
Absolutely, and he's earned the bacon so far here in the second period. But again, we're getting down to that point where the legs are a little rubbery right now. You mentioned it. Who's going to step it up in the last 2 minutes to try to get the momentum going into the third period and possibly the big goal to either put Robert Morris up 2 or a tie game after 40.
Minaccio's pass goes awry. It's back in now for Ryan Martin, who takes a jolt. And he appears to just bump that off, just rub a little dirt on it, as that was Chrome smashing him into the glass. 6', 190 Chrome going up against an RMU player in Martin, and that's the type of game that we thought that we were going to see some hard-hitting, grinded-out hockey. It's been everything but that with the amount of wide-open chances from the man advantage as well as odd-man chances that we've had.
We haven't seen that at all. You're absolutely right. The first couple of minutes, we saw a few big hits, and then it's died down, and it hasn't picked up. That's the first one in probably 25 minutes.
A lot more skill than Braun right now. Minaccio flips this one, and I believe it will go down for icing, and it will. So RMU trying to change. 18:02 into the second period, but they're going to have to make sure that none of the guys cheated there, because you know that's an often tactic you use in ACHA hockey, and I think they got them all.
They did, and what you mentioned it, the tired legs that has started to make its presence felt. The last thing in the world you want is an icing call, because you're right, they can't change. And you just notice they whistled the 2 back off the ice, so they caught him. Good job by the referees to keep an eye on that.
And it's a long change, too. This face-off very important, and that's something they can't do. Cole McKechnie gets tossed. Pruss comes in, wins it, a shot, wiring over the glove as that came off the stick of Haney. Now back out in front to the left wing side. We have a whistle.
The goal,
as
yes.
The net has come off.
And boy, oh boy, they caught him on. They caught Robert Morris napping after the face-off, and I got to give Semchak credit. He was on the ball. He's going to keep him in it right now.
McKechnie against Martin to the right of Semchak with 1:51 left in the second period. RMU wins it. It's Nitchie, who we haven't said his name too much throughout this second period after being the best player for RMU in the opening frame. Browning uses that 6'8" frame to glove the puck down. But it's Minaccio. He's bumped a bit by Haney. Stays on his feet. Here's Nitchie over the Dallas Stars center ice logo. Now to the right wing side. He fires one, and that was off of a stick of Browning behind the cage. Browning looking for it. Nitchie coming away with it. Out in front. The pass is deflected. Skordillis walking the line. Now back to the left point. Potter for Skordillis. Wands fires, and that one missed just wide of the far post. Flipped out in front. The pass was broken up by Potter. He gets a second chance. Goes between his legs for Cacciato. Cacciato for Koch, as Cacciato was labeled there by Browning, who gives another check. But Cacciato, now for Koch, he fires at a big save there by Brower. Puck still loose as Brower goes on his backside. Koch trying to capitalize. 50 seconds left in the second period. Koch firing one off the pad again. It's loose in the low slot, and Brower finds it, covers it. Nothing doing for RMU to try and increase this lead with under 50 seconds left in the second.
Good saves that time by Tyson Brower, but unfortunately if you're Robert Morris, Koch had his back to the goal, and if he would have, I know if and buts, but if his back wouldn't have been to the goal, that puck was teed up right in the paint, ready to be put past Brower, and unfortunately for Koch, his back was to the play.
And if you're RMU right now, you got to look to your point shots. They've been missing the net a ton, and sure, that could be because of some traffic, some sticks and lanes. But again, with Tyson Brower in the crease, I know he's let up 2. It's going to be tough to get any more by him, especially knowing that he's been the guy for Jamestown all season long. 33 seconds left in the second period. Tipped in by Yee, who's had a strong tonight showing. As it's Rizzo turning off a check along the right circle. He was stripped of it. Richter firing from a tough angle. Semchak never saw the rebound, and a wrap chance coming. But that one was diffused. To the far side corner it goes for Tyler Kreitz. Backhands one as far as the red line. Okino boarded a bit, and Jamestown wanted a call, but Okino was sliding in that direction. 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and we will end the second period with RMU up 2-1, and Okino appears to be no worse for wear after that one because he was losing his edge, Lou, and then the pressure came. So if you're the official, you can't really call that because he puts himself in that position.
That was a very good call. It was a very good non-call, I should say. As you were right, he was losing his position. A great play on the back end there on that wraparound that time. Malfetta, right as he was about to make the play, Jamestown that is, he was able to get the poke check right at the last second because there was indeed a wide open net.
Joel Malfetta providing defense, but also providing offense. He got the primary assist on the goal scored by Sam Mancini.
Power play goal at 2:46, the only goal of the second period. So far the difference, but we mentioned it, the goaltending play of Semchak, especially in the last 6 minutes of the second period, the difference, as we've got a 2-1 hockey game. Really looking forward to this third period. I think that the pace is going to pick up even more.
Well, what else do you think? Who do you think comes out of this one after 60 minutes, or will we need to go further?
Well, I like the play of Jamestown towards the end, but I'll tell you, the last 45 seconds, Robert Morris picked up the pace. After that face-off, when they were called for icing, they seemed to get that line change, put the pressure on the goaltender Brower, and had a couple of opportunities. I like the play of Robert Morris on the defensive end especially. And, as long as you've got Semchak playing that good, he's going to be tough to solve in that third period.
Sam Mancini, the junior forward, has goals in back-to-back games. His goal in the second period separates us from a 1-1 tie. It's RMU 2, Jamestown 1. We'll get you back to the third period in 16 minutes or so. You are watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships presented by the ACHA Network.
Enter the workforce with an edge with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Jamestown. With this undergraduate program offered at our Jamestown campus, you'll benefit from smaller class sizes, more one-on-one time with our caring and committed faculty, and a core curriculum designed to enhance communication skills with state-of-the-art labs and software. Become a more well-rounded critical thinker as an engineer with a Mechanical Engineering degree at the University of Jamestown.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. they usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi.
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth
She's okay.
might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
And welcome to your second intermission update. I'm Thomas, that's Quinn, there's Jay. And right now we're sitting at a 2-1 hockey game between the Jimmies of Jamestown and the Robert Morris squad. And so far it's been a very entertaining game. We've seen a lot of stuff from both teams, a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. And I think really I want to start back in the first period. Brower, for the netminder for the Jimmies, he kept the team in there. Probably, I have marked down about 7 good saves, couple of posts, and really a couple of shots that just went wide, but he was the star of the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, there was not much going on in that first period, although we did end up with a Jimmy goal, number 23 at 10:31, unassisted. It's a little bit of a fluky goal, but hey, you know, what was going on is we had the Jimmies crashing the net. Robert Morris wasn't doing that, and we'll get to the second period in a bit, but the second period, Robert Morris finally started to crash the net, and it became effective for them.
Yep. Quinn, back in that first period too, Robert Morris. Well, first of all, I want to talk about that double post that they hit on there. As it was in the first period, Nietzsche, I believe, got credit for the goal, but it was basically because a player right in front nearly got a goal right before that.
Yeah, there was a breakaway right in on Brower, and it comes in, takes a shot on goal, and it double doinked.
Yeah.
The term that most people from Illinois dread to hear, the double doink.
Yes.
But in the case of today, it worked out in their favor, and they got a goal, and the time drew the game even at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Malfetta was the one that hit the post on the shot, and as you noted while we were watching the game together, Jay, it looked like that perhaps Brower lost it, or kind of lost where he was with the puck, or thought the play was dead because you didn't think he scrambled back as quickly as he expected.
Yeah, he's a very athletic goalie, and what was interesting, he just didn't seem to come back to the left and push off. It was almost like, oh, I got that one, I hit the post, I'm good, right, and stopped tracking the puck, and all of a sudden it's in the back of his net. He didn't even see it.
Yeah, well, shots in that first period, each team with 14. Pretty indicative, though, of how the period went. I think both teams really had their opportunities. It was really an even period. Shots can sometimes be misleading. I don't think so in that first period.
Yeah, the shots were even, but what was interesting to me is there was no momentum shifts. The entire game, there wasn't one side that carried the play for any extended period. There was just no momentum shift by either team. I've not really seen that, especially after a goal. It wasn't that the team that got scored against came out charging hard, and it wasn't like the goal-scoring team. It just didn't materialize.
Yeah, normally you would expect something like that, right, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, there have been goals, big hits, penalties, you name it. This game's had it. The only thing it hasn't had is the momentum change that usually goes with it. I don't know if maybe in this rink we've already had 3 games and old Mo just decided to walk out the door, got bored after 3, but it hasn't been apparent yet in this one.
Well, what's interesting to me is the Jimmies, having seen them now for 3 seasons, they play a very, very, what I would call a heavy game. I don't see any, there's been some heavy hits, but they're not playing a heavy covering, smothering game like they've been known to play during the regular season. But what comes to mind for me is the Canucks with the Sedin twins, the Sharks with Marlowe and Thornton, or up until last year, the Capitals with Ovechkin and Backstrom. you got to have that second gear, and this is the second year. I think when they first came into the league 3 years ago, I think that was their best team.
Right.
I don't know what happened since then, but they literally had just freshmen. And I don't know what happened during the time, but the coach changed last year. Maybe it's a different style, but it's interesting that they come to these playoffs and they struggle.
Well, that got us through the first period, and as you noted, it really, as both of you guys noted, it didn't really change a lot in terms of momentum on second or just overall play. Early power play opportunity for Robert Morris. They were able to cash in on it with the power play tally, and they would take the 2-1 lead at that point.
Yeah, and for the Jimmies, they just haven't got the magic that they have on the power play. I don't know what happened, but they're not getting the shots that they want. They keep moving it around the perimeter, thinking that they can move it in, and Robert Morris is just doing a great job of getting in the shooting lanes and boxing them out.
Yeah, the goal was scored, I believe, I had it marked down as number 15, Walton. So I believe got the goal there for them. And again, it was assisted by number 43, Jake Nietzsche. And I don't know if you could tell from where you were, Quinn, from your point of view, as we were kind of looking at different angles, though. 43 in red, all over the ice for the whole entire game so far.
Yeah, it seems like any time that there's a play to be made, Nitschke's there. And he has been all over the place for Robert Morris, and I think something else that's been overlooked. The Jimmies, they started to get opportunities there in the second half of that third period, and Cole Simchek, the netminder for Robert Morris, he was up to the task.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And number 14, Nitschke, again, if I had to start at the player to watch at the beginning of the game, that was one of my guys. The guy that's got a lot of assists, just an even player, but number one in penalty minutes every time he's on the ice, and he's demonstrating that tonight. He makes things happen.
He has. He really has. There were two power plays later in the period for the Jimmies, unable to cash in on either one of them. But I think one of the big things that you saw on those power plays is a point that you always make, Jay, Quinn, you've made it too. Much more collapsing around Simchek, and that goes back to your point about them getting better opportunities later in the period.
Yeah, I mean, as those power plays came, that was really the first time I noticed momentum, as the Jimmies gained momentum there with those power plays, and Simchek, every time they gained it, highway robbery, and they'd reset all that momentum and would be right back on to Jump Street. But Simchek, if he's going to have his work cut out for him in this third period if they keep up this pressure.
You know, the numbers aren't impressive. 9-9, 3.54 goals against average, save percentage of .906. But I can remember him from this tournament. I can remember him from seeing in games that I have called elsewhere. He is a rock-solid netminder.
Yeah, and what was interesting to me was the Jimmies, when they're on the PK, they actually, when the goal got started, the power play goal by Robert Morris for number 15 at 2:46, I've not really seen a lot of teams, except sometimes here in the ACHA, when you're on the penalty kill, you shouldn't be checking.
Right.
And they keep checking players. All you're doing is you're taking yourself out of play and putting your back to the puck, and you're putting your back to your goalie, which is a good thing, but you're out of the play.
Right.
You've got to just push them into the corners, and then keep everybody out of the front, push everything to the side, and make them take those low percentage shots.
Quinn, you're in the Robert Morris locker room right now. What would you be telling the guys?
I mean, tell them you're in the lead, you're in a good position, and come right out and try to get one early. If you get one early in this third period, it takes the life out of Jamestown.
Jay, you're in the Jamestown locker room. What are you telling those guys?
If I was at Jamestown, I would go back to that heavy game if I could. I think if you look at that team, they've got two defensemen that they look like they're 7 feet tall, number 21 and 24. It's just an amazing size that they have. Use that size advantage, and you can see there are times when they have bursts of speed that are a little better than Robert Morris, but Robert Morris is hanging in there.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Second period shots ended up being 13 for for the Jimmies, and then 15 for Robert Morris. Folks, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what's gone on a little bit in this tournament so far on day one of the ACHA 2019 men's tournament.
Go ahead.
Dad's not ready. You're not ready. Go!
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Welcome back to Frisco, Texas, and the ACHA Men's Division I tournament. Let's kind of recap where we're at so far in the tournament. First game of the day, it was UNLV getting a 4-3 victory over Robert Morris, PA. Robert Morris, PA hung in there very well against the Rebels, but the Rebels were able to pull out a 4-3 victory.
And then our second game was Missouri State versus number 19 Buffalo, and Missouri State, they really dominated, especially the last 30 minutes. You know, in the second period, they just carried the game from there on, and they cruised into a victory. 4-1, they were able to get a goal, Buffalo, but it was all Missouri State.
And then our third game of the day was number 15 Oklahoma against number 18 Drexel. And Oklahoma wound up winning that game 5-4, but not indicative of the scoreline. Oklahoma was up 4-0 in the third period, and they decided to sit back on their haunches, and Drexel almost came back and made them pay for it.
Don't want to see Robert Morris do that here, as Quinn mentioned. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. This was your second intermission update for the ACHA Division I Men's National Tournament. Go ahead.
And we're back for the third period here at the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. I'm Cristiano Simona, joined alongside Lou Gamlin and Lou. It's 2-1, RMU over Jamestown. They lead 2-1, and it was the goal scored by Sam Mancini, 2:46 into the second period. It was a power play goal. We've seen two power play markers, one from Jason Richter in the first period. Again, we asked it in the pregame show, but special teams, how important are they in this final set of 20?
Oh, they're very important because these goaltenders, they haven't really solved them except on the special teams. You and I talked before the break, Cristiano. We could see 40 shots apiece with only maybe a 2-1 game, maybe 3-1 at the end of the game. So goaltending is going to be key. You know, you look at Semchak, he was huge in the last 5 or 6 minutes of that second period, keeping it a 2-1 game. And again, it's going to come down to, in my opinion, maybe who the first team to make a mistake in that third period, odd man rush, turnover. We haven't seen a lot of that, and we haven't seen a lot of long rebounds, so that's what I'm looking for.
Cole Semchak and the RMU Eagles, they will go right to left. Tyson Brower and the Jamestown Jimmies will go left to right. It's the third period, and it just starts in a couple of seconds as Ryan Martin is ready to go. Bryson Yee's ready to go. We're hope you are ready to go at home. We thank you for tuning in to the 2019 ACHA National Championships. It's a round of 16. Win or go home, and for these two teams, you'll win, and then you have to hit the reset button as you face off against the Lindenwood Lions in the second round.
Well, it's like they say, you got to beat them sometime if you want to win the national title, so why not tomorrow?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And we're underway in the third, and we have our first stoppage, 10 seconds. Into the final frame of regulation, Brower covers up. It'll be a defensive zone face-off for the Jimmies.
Well, they wanted to see if Brower was paying attention. You never know. The puck, it doesn't hurt to try to throw it towards the net. So face-off won by Robert Morris.
Mancini with a shot, maybe a second save by Brower, and the blocker goes flying as there was some contact right outside that blue paint. Brower appears to be okay, but Mancini in the middle of it again with that initial shot. That line's been humming for the Eagles. 18 seconds into the third period, 2-1 RMU.
Well, one of the things that I talked about before the game and during the first intermission was the lack of success on the defensive face-offs, and there's another example right there. Robert Morris almost put it past him. Now the face-off's going to come out of the Jamestown blue line.
He wins the draw to Senstivo. To the far side, Okino. Jason Richter, bottom of your screen. Blue line, right wing side. The co-captain eases the puck below the goal line. Ryan Martin on the outlet and the counterattack for RMU. It's Sam Mancini racing against Okino. No fired across, and Senstivo returns the favor to the far side. In front of Jamestown's bench. It could be a 3-on-2. Richter over the blue line, hitting a man. It's a shot coming, and a great save as number 14, Phoenix McElroy Scott, tried to go 5-0 on Semchek, but once again, the Pillows stand tall for number 1 in maroon and gold.
Scott with a nice shot and a good defensive play real quick on the back end that time by Skordilis to negate the odd man rush.
Martin's shot may have been going wide. Brower gloves it anyway, 1:05 in the third period, 2-1 Eagles.
Well, this is keeping up with our prediction of 40 shots apiece here, as we've already had a handful of shots in the first minute and 5 seconds.
And they're not bad shots either. They're scoring opportunities, but it's just the proverbial tip of the cap to both of these goaltenders, Semchek and Brower, but we still have a lot of work to do before we find out a victor. Kyle Barron, far side corner of his own zone, skating through the circles. Barron, 1 goal, 13 assists this season. To the far side corner, it goes for McNeil. They gain the line and gain the zone as a big hit on Chrome as Potter laid into him. Skordilis will retrieve it along the near side corner. And sending it back to Potter, the left-handed defenseman. Trickles one over to the left wing side, and Scott Koch is there to skate away for RMU. Now it's Jake Nitschke. Nitschke, who opened the scoring for RMU. A deflection out in front. Oh, and that shot was right off the outside of the post, and Mike Cacciato sends his head skyward as he had a bit of an empty cage, but couldn't fire it through the posts. 18:06 left in the third period.
And you almost, right before that, had Koch getting the tip play. It was a beautifully designed play that time by Robert Morris. And wow, Brower again right at the last second, keeping it a 1-goal game.
Turner won the draw to number 17, Tony Dahlberg. Haven't said his name too much tonight, but Turner skates free to the low side, deflected by Dahlberg, and a nice save from Brower. Dahlberg reverses it to the far side corner. Now to the far side point. It is Stover for Turner. Nice stop and start, and he absorbs a hit from Dylan Haney and kept in by the Eagles. Another nice move, looking to go through the low slot, and a beautiful move there from Joe Mofetta. And Minaccio tied up a bit. Turner at the top of the line, kept it in. As spinning with it there will be number 27, that's Brandon Shaber. And flipped out by Jamestown off the stick of Ned Simpson. Minaccio tried to bring it back in. Could be a 3-on-2 rush. Haney fires, and I don't think he recognized he had the odd man as that shot went wide. 17-17 left in the third. And behind the goal now it's Haney with some more work. Pass was intercepted by Mofetta. He makes a nice pass to the weak side in Dahlberg, who's late on his shift. He'll hit the blue line and just flip that in.
I don't think Mofetta was looking for that pass that time. He was looking to get off the ice with tired legs.
And he was still able to deke around it.
He sure did.
And speaking of some dekes, it's Scott Koch along the right circle. But here come the Jimmies. Red line, blue line, left wing side. It's Chavez Leach in the low slot. He'll go tight angle, and that missed everything. A backhanded chance from Richter. Never got to the front of the net, and look at the wheels. Here's Scott Koch over the neutral zone. Nice deke, but a cancel out from number 17. That's Cole Senstivo, one of the Cole captains. But Koch has it again and meets the glass with his wrist shot from the left circle. Chavez Leach looking for his own player in number 14, his teammate. That was Phoenix McElroy Scott, but missed him back into center ice, and RMU rings it back.
Boy, you got to be careful on the defensive end if you're Jamestown. Again, looking about a half second slow, and you know when you're behind, you can't afford to do that.
As it's Chrome behind the goal for McElroy Scott. He tried to pass it, but it went off the back of the cage. Martin to Hart, 3-on-2 rush for the Eagles. Left wing side, it's Hart, but a pass was knocked down by guess who? Senstivo, and maybe a 4-on-2 rush for Jamestown. It is Senstivo, but the pass was just too far in front from McNeil, and Hart on the interchange in the counter. Left circle, gains the line into the Jamestown zone, but Cole McKechnie with a nice backhand flip And they're dead tired here, Lou. They got to get off the ice. They get it back to center. And glove down by Brower as RMU goes for a change themselves. 15:25 left in the third period.
Boy, a much-needed change on both ends. You were right, Cristiano. And, boy, the tired legs and almost a golden opportunity that time for Jamestown. But Sanstivo couldn't come up with that pass, just a little behind him.
McKechnie to the goal line, out in front for Haney, but that pass was deflected, and Haney looking to go on the forecheck again. Stover absorbs a hit, makes a play, though, as Manaccio with a flip pass looking to spring Jake Nitchie, who's had a couple of breakaways in this game. And he will deke his way through to the blue line. High slot shot was deflected off of Browning. Pass to the right point, Manaccio. And Nitchie is hurt off that hit from Browning. He's slow to his skates, but the play still goes. More on him in a second. Michael Pruss going wide on the near side. He's taken down. No call. I thought for sure Stover was going to get a holding penalty as Nitchie, luckily, skates off under his own power. And here come the Eagles. Mike Cacciato off a turnover. Moving in. Glove stopped by Brower.
What a beautiful save by Brower. What a sequence of events that time. We got to keep an eye on Nitchie, as you mentioned. It looked like he went in awkward with his left leg, and he came up gimpy at first. He was able to get both wheels on it and get off to the bench. You're right, we'll keep an eye on him, but what a save that time by Brower to keep it a one-goal game.
And now another shoulder save as Dahlberg had the chance. Boy, you know, on ACHA tonight after the game, 11:30 Central Time, you may be talking about the #1 star of the night. It could be Cole Semchek, but how about Tyson Brower keeping his team in it?
Boy, a couple of big saves right there as well. Play with a high stick to keep the faceoff deep in the Jamestown end.
Dahlberg, his pass was intercepted by Cale Bell, junior forward out of Fort St. John, British Columbia. He'll dump it in against respected number 16, Rizzo. As that was a chance for number 23, Jason Richter, trying to make a nice individual effort to cut to the front of the net. He loses his stick there as Rizzo for Dahlberg. Red line, blue line, left wing side. Drops it for Turner. Looking for a backdoor pass, it's Rizzo. Ran out of room, but he still threw the puck on net. Right pad save by Brower. And back into the RMU zone where Kreitz will regroup. 6 minutes and 11 seconds into the third.
Malfado's stick was taken away from him right at the last second when he was parked in front of the crease. It was a beautiful tic-tac-toe pass play by Robert Morris, but then a good play on the defense by Jamestown.
Ned Simpson had some trouble. Now it's Chrome. Drops it for a speeding number 14, Phoenix McElroy Scott to the far side. McNeil trying to pinch, as well as Simpson. McNeil slaps one back in along the cross corner, so it's the near side corner. Glove back down by Shaber. Could this be a chance for Jamestown? Along the goal line it goes from the defenseman. He ran out of real estate. To the near side it goes for number 15, Matt Walton, who served the too many men on the ice penalty in the second period for RMU, getting some much important ice time in this third period where you know you can't take a shift off. You got to be able to roll 4 lines.
Shaber's been having a rough time. I've noticed it a couple of times at the blue line. It seems like he's having trouble getting possession of the puck. And on the other end that time, the same thing when he had an opportunity from about 8 to 10 feet.
Dylan Haney, the sophomore forward, deking on the inside, now goes along the far side corner. He's boarded and canceled out by Scordelis, but Haney keeps the motor humming. He'll get it on the left wing side. Dangling and a backhanded stop there from Semchak as the chance coming right around the crease, and that's what I alluded to, Lou. The goals have to come from that area, and Michael Pruss, who has 12 goals on the season, points in 11 out of his last 14, looking to tie the game, but Semchak says no.
Well, there was a little bit of a collision right over on the left faceoff circle that created that opportunity for Jamestown, but Semchak right there at the doorstep to stop it as he had the angle.
Stover, great pass for Josh Hart. The setup play off the faceoff is successful to get it out for RMU. Mancini and Browning had some stops there as Martin almost capitalized. So the puck gets cleared out of play. But Garrett Browning, he's got to be smarter there. When there's 2 forecheckers coming at you, you got to get rid of that puck. Sometimes making the extra deke doesn't exactly work, and Martin almost had the 3rd goal for RMU.
I don't care how big you are, you can't clog the area that much when you make mistakes like that, and you're right. One player that I want to bring up, we haven't called his name a lot tonight, Cristiano, is the play of Josh Hart, the assistant captain for Robert Morris. Quick on that draw that time, coming down into the zone and set up that opportunity for Robert Morris.
Josh Hart, 7 goals, 13 assists last year. He's got 4 goals, 4 assists this year in only 17 games. Off the face-off, Jamestown controls. Haney looking for the alley-oop play. Stover stops it right at the center ice logo. And dropping it for Dom Manaccio. His pass goes awry. This one will be icing as it was looking for Nitschke, but hitting the hash marks will be number 22, Barron. 7 minutes, 57 seconds in the third period. Shots 34 for RMU, 29 for Jamestown. Jamestown's been stuck on that 28-29 for the first 8 minutes here.
Well, this is kind of eerily resembling the second period where Robert Morris has taken the play to Jamestown. Maybe not as bad as last period, but one quick thing, it's good to see Nitschke back out on that line.
Chavez Leach scores, and we've got ourselves a tie game.
Wow.
Tyler Chavez Leach goes through the legs of Semchak. It's his 10th goal of the season. Twos are wild in Frisco.
Wow, just like that, an opportunity right off the face-off, and, you know, it's a 2-2 tie. Beautiful play by Chavez Leach.
And a huge goal, maybe a season-saving goal for the Jimmies.
Boy, you want that extra period. They're trying their best to get
don't
it.
Just spin it on me, Lou.
No, I want it too. Who doesn't want extra hockey? But what a play. Right out of the offensive faceoff, going back to winning the defensive faceoffs for both teams, just non-existent.
Tyler Chavez Leach with that deceptive wrist shot. I'm not sure if Semchak thought he was going upstairs. Instead, the sophomore forward out of Red Deer, Alberta, kept the puck on the ice. And we once again have a tie game. 11:40 left in the third period.
Boy, this is going to open up some great hockey here in this last 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
And a bit of a momentum killer here, but now Richter comes free with it. Senstebo right circle, looking for a deflection in the low slot. That was Bryson Yee, but he missed everything. Okino looking for Yee again. It's tipped away to the far side. Molfetta racing to it, but kept in by Chavez Leach. Rizzo going near side for Dahlberg. This one will be icing. Senstebo reaches those hash marks. 8 minutes, 46 seconds into the third period. It's a 2-2 game. Shots, well, Jamestown, they got off the 29 mark, and their 30th shot of the night beats Semchak.
Well, getting the only assist, or the primary assist on that, if you will, Bryson Yee. We've called his name a lot tonight, Cristiano, and his efforts have been finally rewarded, getting the game-tying goal. This has changed things dramatically because now they've got a little bit of momentum.
Chrome's blind pass picked off by Molfetta, and RMU with a 3-on-2 rush possibly. Brower sticks that puck into the netting. 9 minutes exactly into the third period. 2-2.
Now I'm very interested to see what the mindset's going to be of Robert Morris now. Outplaying him, as I mentioned, right before they scored the tying goal off the faceoff. What, you know, do you go with the mindset of what else do we got to do to get one past this guy, or do you keep the throttle down and try to get one past him, because there have been a few opportunities.
And you remember those saves by Tyson Brower when it was a 2-1 RMU lead, as this faceoff is deemed to be dropped unfairly. The goaltenders have shined at different parts of this game, and Brower has the upper hand right now.
He certainly does, and boy, it's amazing. Once you get that goal, that tying goal, all of a sudden your confidence level, the pep in your step is there.
As Brian Chrome, as well as Mike Cacciato, were boarded by Browning. He hits a man in the middle for Bryson Yee. Red line, he almost gets tossed into RMU's bench, NHL 2000 style, as this is a slap shot coming into the zone by Anthony Potter, who's looking for his first goal of the season. And Brower out to center ice. RMU trying to continue this momentum after allowing that tying goal. Okino doubling back and almost losing the puck. He'll retrieve it along the left circle in his own zone. Backhanded pass, he gets his own play back, and he gets knocked to his knees. A hand pass to himself, not called by the officials. Puck still loose, now a wide open play. A pass out in front, but no Jimmy could slap that home as Dylan Haney had an excellent pass. Unreal.
It all started with the hustle play of Okino down on the Robert Morris end. As you said, hand pass to himself and was able to get momentum, and Deke Semchak right out of his goal crease area, wide open, but unfortunately for Jamestown, couldn't cash in. They did get the icing call, so they've got the faceoff back in the Robert Morris end.
And that was Kruss again, tied up. But we've talked about the 6x4s being vacant a couple of times in this game, but none capitalized on it, with the exception of Nitschi's goal in the first period. Scored Dillis. Boarded behind the goal. Mancini edges one to Ryan Martin. 2-on-2. He'll go red line, blue line, and Hart just couldn't keep that right skate blade on as they tried the pick play. 9:38 left in the third period.
Boy, that was close because you had Potter coming down, trying to go down the right lane to maybe make it a 3-on-2, but just a hair off sides, and I'll bring, like you said, the face-off just outside the blue line.
And we're going to have a media timeout. Game is tied at 2. It's just getting started. You are watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships presented by the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Budget Car Rental, the preferred rental agency of the ACHA. Hogan Transportation, official tournament partners of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Edge Protect, protecting goalie skate blades since 2004 and official sponsor of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
Frisco, Texas. RMU tied with Jamestown 2-2 with under 10 minutes to go in the third period. Thank you for joining us. I'm Cristiano Sinet, joined alongside Lou Gamlin, and we get an icing call. 10:32 into the third period. All right, Lou, I'm going to put you on the spot. The next goal scorer will be.
I'm going to go with Nitschi. I think he's going to get his second goal of the night. He's going to shake off that little bit of injury he may have had into the boards, and he's going to cash that in for the game winner. But I don't know what period it's going to be in. How's that?
All right.
I'll leave that up to you.
Pass out in front and deflected by Bryson Yee, who's also been your pick to click throughout this hockey game. But Brower with a nice save. We're back at the center, and there's number 43 in maroon and goal. He lays a big check on him, man. That was number 24, Ned Simpson. Behind the goal it goes. Cachado on the wrap chance. Puck comes out in front. Coach couldn't handle it either. And the Jimmies trying to get the outlet pass. Chavez, Leach, and Rizzo come together. The animosity, it's picking up. The pace is picking up. And we got ourselves a tie game, 8:55 left in the
Boy,
third.
they know it's at stake. Coach again.
Oh, what a right pad save. The puck is still loose. Coach with a spin around backhander. But Brower using every inch of that equipment keeps it out.
Boy, I might have to change my mind. Coach has been playing really, really well in this third period, showing a little extra pep in his step, kicking in that extra gear. But I'll tell you what, Brower must have heard us talking in between the second intermission off the air and said, hey, I want an opportunity for this player of the game.
He stretches out the right leg a little bit. He's ready to go. Face up to the left side of him. Off the draw, Mancini has wide open Rizzo. Fires and off the shin pads of number 9, Brian Chrome, who's had a solid game for Jamestown. Behind the goal it goes. Kyle Barron on his backhand forehand. Uses the boards to the far side corner. And Jerry McNeil was unsure of how to clear that puck, but luckily his goaltender's there to back him up. A shot and a save by Brower.
10-4 shot advantage for Robert Morris, but the only goal, as you mentioned, scored by Tyler Chavez Leach at 8:01, and that just tells you that Brower's really standing on his head right now, keeping it tied, and keeping this a very, very fun game to watch.
Turner lost the draw at first, but RMU regains. Dahlberg walking across that line. Rizzo looking for a check, but Browning actually angled the puck off the glass and caught it. That's one way to exit your own zone as Rizzo gets it for Turner. And that pass goes awry, but off the stick of Barron, so no icing. 8:08 left in the third period. Shots 39 for RMU, 2 for Jamestown. Or two shots, 31 for Jamestown. It's not that big of a chasm, and a big hit there. And now a spin around chance. Couldn't get to the net, 7:53 left. Oh, a nice deke move from Sam Turner, who's had the hands. And here is Dahlberg looking for Molfetta in the low slot. And RMU's changing. It would have been a very bad change. It would have been a 3-on-2. But another example, Lou, the fundamentals as the game wears on, the legs get a little bit heavier. and the passes haven't been sharp in certain areas.
McKechnie had the opportunity, and again, it looked like he picked his head up too, right when the pass was about to hit his skate, and that negated that potential breakaway for the Jimmies.
12:40 into the third period. 2-2 RMU against the Jamestown Jimmies. This is Senstivo behind the goal now for Trevor Okino. Gets it to the red line. Anthony Potter labels one back in. Another save for Brower. He'll take that to pad his stats. Richter near side, bottom of your screen, blue line, red line. He's charging up the ice. Right circle, going wide on Potter. Out in front of tight angle play. He's got it back. Looking out in front for the late man. The trailer was Barron off his skate. And here we go back and forth. It is Turner Separitis who hit the post not once but twice on that breakaway chance in the first period. And Nitchie cleaned it up. A whistle as Broward holds on. 13-17 into the third.
Well, and we had Bryson Yee also down on the other end waiting for the scraps in front of Semchak. But that was a great point you brought up about how the fundamentals tend to dip with the heavy legs. And it really, in the last 2.5 minutes on the defensive side for both teams, has reared its ugly head.
Face-off controlled. Mancini with a try, but that was blocked in front by possibly Browning or McElroy Scott. 2 sets of legs for Jamestown to make Brower's job a lot easier. And a turnover along the near side wall as Martin lost the handle. Chrome, checked by Minaccio. Martin dangling between two. And Josh Hart, you've talked about him. He has been a very, very underrated player in this hockey game. When he gets the puck on his stick, he's going to move it quick. He just did. Puck ends up in the Jamestown bench. 13:45 into the third period. Knotted up at 2.
Well, you know, he's like the point guard or the quarterback, you know, at the point, and he's really set up a couple of, I'd say at least a half a dozen great rushes for Robert Morris in the last half of this game.
Scott Koch against Cole McKechnie on Jamestown's side of center ice, right outside the blue line. The guys in white and orange win the draw. It's Okina with a feathery backhand pass. McKechnie loses it in his skates, and here comes Mike Cacciato. The bench yelling wheels, wheels, wheels because he has a 3-on-2 possibly. Right wing side, easily sticked away by Brower behind the goal. Koch, a prayer of a pass to the middle. Didn't hit anybody, a couple of number 10s. That was obviously Mike Cacciato and Michael Pruss getting involved with it. At Jamestown's blue line, they'll move it to the center ice. It is Pruss going wide on Minaccio. He's got some space here, Lou. Look out to the left circle it goes. And here comes Senstivo. Flipping one on, a nice block from Jake Nitchie. 5:27 left in the third period. Jamestown regains, Senstivo winds one up, deflected, and that one was blocked away. And a big hit there by Minaccio. A little bit of a forearm shiver. And the Jamestown bench wants a call, as does Dylan Haney. He doesn't get it. Jason Richter, bottom of your screen. Launches one in around the dasher. 5:08 left in the third period.
Well, I think it's going to have to be really egregious to get a penalty called now. We've only had 5 penalties called throughout the game, and they are definitely letting them play. It's not been a dirty game, though. It really hasn't been. It's been a very well-played game by both teams.
Especially after the whistles, too. You'd expect some more pushing, expect some more shoving, but these two teams, even-keeled, they're disciplined, and they're tied at 2 goals apiece.
Boy, it's funny in Division I where you see the different styles of play between the teams. You know, the heavy checking last game, and this one more of a clean, you know, skilled set game, as you say.
There's a turnover in RMU's zone. The shot coming from McElroy Scott, left pad, and now the stick of Semchak, and a tight angle shot. It's blocked, and now Semchak retrieves it from his defenseman. That was Rizzo. 4:24 left in the third period. We're getting to that point. It's almost crunch time, and we still don't have a clear winner.
I like that play by Semchak because he had McNeil right at the doorstep with him, and he also had McElroy Scott. And he, you know, instead of the potential, maybe giving something up with a wide open net, gobble it up. Trust your folks on the back end for a face-off.
Senstivo, right wing side from the right point. Now it's McNeil behind the goal. It's number 9, Brian Chrome to Trevor Okino. His shot through traffic, hit off a leg. Jamestown maintains possession. Senstivo. Pass fumbled over his stick. Hart on the forecheck against him. We're about to hit the 16-minute mark of the third period, and Okino, a nice, skillful play to go skate the stick, and now to the middle area. And across the center ice logo, McNeil couldn't get it deep. Martin couldn't retrieve the pass either. And tipped in by Chrome, who will take a whistle. And that's interesting, Lou, because Jamestown was going for a change.
Yes.
They only had one forechecker. If Semchek's ready to play that puck quick, I think it's a different outcome.
Oh, I agree. It looked like he could have a possible 3-on-2 the other way, because you saw the play that time. It was kind of a lazily played puck at the center ice area because they were going for the change, and I don't know if I agree with that.
A little bit of a conservative move for Cole Semchek. RMU with a defensive zone faceoff. Cole McKechnie on the draw against Mike Cacciato. 13 versus 10. McKechnie wins it cleanly to Kyle Barron. He'll flip one to the near side. McKechnie, or rather Dylan Haney, and a shot looking 5-hole was number 10 Michael Pruss. So Chavez Leach went 5-hole, went in, and now they may be trying to go to that same spot. 3:30 left in the third period. Jamestown with a chance, deflected just wide of the cage. It's Potter. Wrapping one for Cacciato on the near side half boards. He takes a hit, can't get it out. Barron, his shot was deflected wide. And Cacciato with a blind pass, but it pays off. Here come the Eagles. Scott Koch over the red line, flipping one in, and Cacciato was separated from the puck. And this will not be icing as Lucas Stover comes to retrieve it in his own zone.
Well, I think you might start to see some shorter shifts now with 3 minutes now left in regulation time and a 2-2 tie. And you might see a little more conservative play, maybe like we saw in the first 5 minutes of the opening period.
Sunstebo does his job, gets the puck, and gets it to his teammate, and now he's got the puck again. So if you're these two defenses, it's got to be off the glass, high off the glass, and out to center, because any turnover, any sign of life you give to an offense in this position, they're going to take the shot. Here's a 3-on-2 for Jamestown. Richter forced to turn around, goes to the forehand for Yee. Gets the puck back, was Richter, but it just went through his skates. 17:35 into the third period. Dahlberg at his own blue line, hitting Sam Turner, who's got some hands. He's going to use them. He's got the wheels too. Backhander. Oh, he almost caught Brower cheating just a little bit on that near post. He got it with the chest, and now out in front. The shot was just deflected over the goal. Colson Stevo may have saved a goal, and Jamestown trying to survive. They're going to, and it could be a one-on-one chance. McElroy Scott. Rizzo back in. Nick Rizzo shut down.
Defensive play of the game right there so far for Robert Morris. Rizzo again with a huge play on defense.
And gaining the line offsides was Josh Stevens. McElroy Scott couldn't hold the line. 1:49 left in the third period. Shots 41 for RMU, 35 for Jamestown.
Well, we're getting close to that prediction of 40 apiece on the shots on goal, and if it keeps up at this pace, they'll get it because we'll get the extra session. But oh wow, this is what we paid to see right here. This is what it's all about.
You mentioned the extra session. Hasn't happened yet though. Rizzo through the middle. Mancini, I believe, got his stick on it. And Brower with the aggressive play to funnel it to the right wing side. Oh, Mancini almost blocked that pass behind the goal. And Martin almost did that. And it is kept in by RMU. Haney funneling it out with the stick blade. Here's Rizzo. Across now for Mancini, who scored the second goal for RMU. Nice move from Martin, but an even better stick check from Michael Pruss. 80 seconds left in the third period. Still tied at 2. Martin now for Mancini. He's walking, he shoots, and a glove save by Brower, who holds on as the net gets pushed off. And another push from Barron to Ryan Martin right on your screen there. 1:13 left in the third. And we are tied at 2.
Well, you mentioned on that last possession how that save kind of handcuffed Brower. He didn't think he had it. He looked over to the side. He looked behind over his shoulder behind the net. It was a good save. And now we're down to 1:13 and the net off the moorings. Face off deep in the Jamestown end.
Scott Koch, his job to win the face-off here and spark some offense, but instead it's Bryson Yee winning it, and now Colson Stevo looking up the middle. Instead, it's a pass to the far side, then to Yee in the neutral zone. Too far for him. Chavez Leach with the initial feed to Yee. It's icing, 63 seconds left, and if you're RMU, this is the opportunity you have. You win this face-off, you set up a play, and you get it going.
Big icing call that time on Jamestown. They're going to bring the face-off, and there we've got Nishi up for the face-off for Robert Morris.
Nishi on the draw against Yee, and Nishi wins it. He curls along the far side, dangles through a man. We're down to the final frame of regulation. Koch has 3 jimmies around him. Cacciato lost the puck to Yee. He'll go below his own goal line. Deking around Nishi. To the near side it goes. RMU possibly smelling blood in the water. They pinch with number 19, Anthony Potter. But the Jimmies loft it down the ice. This one is icing. And Jamestown is irate with that one as scored Dillis. Could have skated a little harder. Nonetheless, the whistle goes. 39.1 left in the third.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I think I agree with their coaching staff. I think they might have got away with a little gamesmanship that time for Robert Morris, but it worked, you know. And it
move the arms, not the legs, kind of thing. Sell it a little bit.
You know, they're going to say it's the end of the period. We're tired.
Kept in by Potter with 33 seconds left. Turner, right wing side, firing into the glove, and it will stay there. Tyson Brower, like a Venus flytrap whenever that puck comes into the webbing. 30.1 left in the third period, tied at 2.
Dahlberg creating some traffic in front of the net. That's the first time we've seen that in quite a while, where the goaltender Brower had to look around to get that puck. So good play that time by Robert Morris, just couldn't connect for the goal.
Could it be some foreshadowing, Lou? Get bodies to the front of the net, especially Joel Molfetta, who's at the left wing position. But Jamestown wins the draw. They've got some tired bodies on the ice. And Michael Pruss gloves it down along the red line, clears it in. Dylan Haney as well. But Pruss has it right circle. 14 seconds of one-timer effort there from McKechnie. It didn't get to his stick in time. Senstiebel with 14 seconds left in the third period. Dylan Haney. Skate the stick along the far side corner. Clock is ticking, 7 seconds left. Jamestown's got to get a shot on here. Okino to the near side. Turner's going to hold on to it, and guess what, Lou? We will need more than 3 periods to decide this one is some pushing, some shoving. Dylan Haney, and you get a good look of it at home as Dom Minaccio involved too.
Well, looks like we are indeed your Nostradamus. We're going to go to the extra session as the only goal scored in the third period to tie this one up was
Tyler Chavez-Leach. What a play from him.
8:01 and the assist from Bryson Yee rather. So both teams 3-3 shots on goal, 43-35. The goaltenders they're the stars of the game.
And we're not going to be able to announce the stars of the game just yet on ACHA tonight because we still need a victor in this one. It's 2-2. You mentioned Chavez-Leach's goal to tie up this game. If you're a head coach of either of these squads, if you're head coach for Jamestown, Cole Bell, or if you're head coach, the guy manning the boss for RMU, a new coach, after Chico Adradas spent 10 years, over 10 years, with the RMU Eagles, so now you have a fresh coach in Billy Carr. If you're a first-time coach, we'll go to Carr first. What are you telling your guys in this intermission?
Well, the first thing you want to tell them is what happened on that face-off. You can't take any face-off off at all because you've got, you know, that's what happened with the Leach goal. And you just got to tell them you got to keep the pressure on. Try to find that balance between playing safe but not being too conservative where you give up the odd man rush. And if you're Jamestown, you just got to try to find a way to keep winning the defensive zone faceoffs and create the opportunity for your odd man rushes to try to put one past Semchek. You mentioned it. They're trying to go 5-hole on him. Keep the pressure on. Keep trying to do it. That may be his weakness.
It's got to be a greasy goal, right?
Yes,
it's
exactly.
not going to be a razzle-dazzle 1-2-3 type of passing play. It's going to be park your keister right in front of the net, get a deflection, maybe a rebound, and then you've got a date with Lindenwood.
How many times do you see that, though, where it is a mistake? It's one of those greasy goals. I love that term, where it's just going to scoot by him. He doesn't see it at all, and it goes, you know, it's a fluke. And to me, if that's going to happen, Cristiano, it's going to be in the first 90 seconds of the overtime. If not, both teams are going to settle down, take short shifts, and play a more conservative brand of hockey. Because like you mentioned, winner go home. The winner gets a date with Lindenwood, and I know they would love to do that with that extra effort.
He's Lou Gamlin. I'm Cristiano Simonetta. We have overtime playoff hockey in 15 minutes between the Robert Morris University Eagles and the University of Jamestown Jimmies. Stick around. You are watching the 2019 ACHA National Championships presented by the ACHA Network.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
Enter the workforce with an edge with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Jamestown. With this undergraduate program offered at our Jamestown campus, you'll benefit from smaller class sizes, more one-on-one time with our caring and committed faculty, and a core curriculum designed to enhance communication skills with state-of-the-art labs and software. Become a more well-rounded critical thinker as an engineer with a Mechanical Engineering degree at the University of Jamestown.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
Enter the workforce with an edge with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Jamestown. With this undergraduate program offered at our Jamestown campus, you'll benefit from smaller class sizes, more one-on-one time with our caring and committed faculty, and a core curriculum designed to enhance communication skills with state-of-the-art labs and software. Become a more well-rounded critical thinker as an engineer with a Mechanical Engineering degree at the University of Jamestown.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. I'm Cristiano Sameta, joined alongside by Lou Gamlin. You know, Lou, this game is tied after 3 periods. It's the first game of the tournament that needs extra time, overtime. Remember, golden goal. There is no answer back. There is no 3-on-3. It's 5-on-5 overtime until we get a winner. So you know I got to throw this on you. Who's it going to be?
Well, whoever it's going to be a sloppy goal, I think, as these goaltenders have not really let in a soft goal. It's been one that they've been screened on or just off a face-off where it was sloppy. I'm going to stick with my original prediction. It's going to be Nitschke. That's my prediction. And it's going to be obviously in overtime. But, boy, what a great game.
We don't know. It could be double.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, they need to carry me out on a stretcher if we get to that point. Anyway, 2-2. Jamestown going from right to left. Robert Morris going from left to right. So it is the long change, like the second period. And we're underway in the fourth. As Kreitz's pass was knocked down to Jamestown's blue line. And Josh Hart coming away with it. He's tripped up by his own man, Martin. No call there. Tyler Chavez-Leach over the left wing side for Jamestown. It's flipped back in. Here's Sam Mancini. He lost a step. The puck was poked back out to the neutral zone, and a man down. As we'll get that later. Here's Ryan Martin shoots. Oh, just over the arm, and he runs into Brower. And the net was almost dislodged. Brower's stick is lodged into the netting. And he grabs it back, but at the other end of the rink will go. It's Nick Rizzo. A couple of storylines to recap, and we'll get you that right at the first whistle here. And there it is. The net has come off its moorings. 48 seconds into overtime. So a man was down at the far side. Our eyes were focused on the other side of the play, and then a chance for Ryan Martin to end the game in the opening minute of the extra frame, and he goes high over the glove.
I believe that's one of the co-captains, Richter, for Jamestown, and he had to be helped over the boards as he was in some pain, and he still, as you can see him doubled over right by the door over there at the Jamestown bench, and you mentioned it, they almost capitalized on the other end, did Robert Morris, but I'm interested to see now the shorter shifts in this overtime session.
The brightest stars shine in this particular area of the ACHA National Tournament. It could be an unsung hero. It could be a well-known name. We'll find out. Doesn't have to be in this overtime, though, as Browning sends over to the far side. Barron tipped in momentarily by number 10, Michael Pruss. RMU on the counter. It's the man who scored their first goal, Jake Nitschke. And he doubles back, looking to the right side. Chris Scoredillis shooting one through traffic into the breadbasket of Brower. 118 into overtime, and that is the 44th shot on goal for RMU.
Well, he had a pretty good view on that one, Cristiano, because Koch couldn't really get to shield him at the blue or at the paint area, as he was able to hang on to that, as you mentioned, a minute 18 into overtime, 44th shot.
Sam Turner on the draw for RMU. Instead, it's won by Jamestown and flipped to the right point. Scoredillis was checked by Bell, and now McElroy Scott. Phoenix McElroy Scott takes a hit from Molfetta, lost the puck, and it's back out of the neutral zone in front of the penalty boxes. It's Trevor Okino. Look for him to be a guy to jump into the rush in any overtime chance. And I know he's a defenseman, but he's had some shots on goal. Here comes one from Sensibo into the chest of Semchek. Similar plays, Lou, and you see the strengths of both goaltenders in this game. They don't allow a lot of rebounds.
Well, you saw Chrome there trying to plant himself right in front of the net, but it didn't. It was to no avail as Semchek was able to get the save. And a great point on Okino. He plays like a forward. I think you mentioned that in the second period. It seemed a long time ago, but he does play like a forward, and he likes to get down and dirty right in front of that net.
Joel Molfetta, the senior forward out of Jersey City, New Jersey, tried to gain the line, was unable to. He's pushed back as well as RMU to the blue line to tag up offside. Now they're onside. Okino behind his own goal. Look at the forecheck here, Lou. A 1-2 from RMU, and they force a clear, and the shot coming from Minaccio is wide. Bounces right in front, and Sensibo had to get rid of that quickly. Turner with a drive, and that was a right arm save from Brower. 17:45 left in overtime.
Kind of a knuckleball that time that confused him at first, but he was able to easily detract it away with his shoulder.
Tyler Chavez-Leach going on left wing. A tight angle shot, a big juicy rebound in front of the cage. But there was no white sweater. Able to get a stick on it. Stover behind the goal.
Bryson Yee tried to get over there, but again, another opportunity wasted.
Turnover out in front. Oh, and a shot just went high. Has another turnover by RMU. Almost ended up in the back of the net. Cole McKechnie sends it skyward. And McKechnie to the near side corner. Checked by Minaccio. Two big bodies coming together. The game is not for the faint of heart, folks, and it's Ryan Martin behind his own goal to settle it down.
Well, that was Pruss that time with the opportunity for Jamestown to try to get it past Semchek, but to no avail.
No icing here. Mancini wins the race. And to the near side it goes McKechnie and Martin. Martin coming away with a shot one, and that was a tight angle shot. And Brower had to be aware there. Got him up high, and Rizzo fumbled the pass. 16:43 left in overtime. A good play from RMU, who's had some early jump to start this extra frame.
Well, that's
McKechnie backhands one on the near side.
That's the first mistake I think I've seen Rizzo make all night.
And Koch trying to capitalize on a tired group of forwards for Jamestown. It is Mancini. Rizzo, left circle, fires one in and out of the glove, and Brower pounces on it. 3:39 into the fourth period, overtime, and that is the 46th shot on goal for RMU. It just seems whenever you look up at that scoreboard, Lou, it seems to be doubling.
He had Koch coming in on him. Indeed, it has, and you know they've gotten 3 shots on goal here in the first 3.5 minutes, and the play now definitely is in the Jamestown end.
And Sensibo trying to get it free, and he does. Here comes number 9, Brian Chrome. Had a 3-on-2 rush, but it closed quickly. He gets hacked to the ice, no call. Bell overskated. It's Scott Koch. For Mike Cachado, the near side. He is bumped, but he keeps going, and he gets a second hit and stays on his feet as well. Here comes Nitchie to the right wing side. Now to the circle. He fan on the pass. Slap shot. Koch off Bell. And off the end boards, and a couple of bodies entangled there. Play still goes.
We haven't had a penalty called since the 5-minute mark of the second period.
Nitchie wanders back to center ice. Rizzo fires one in on the near side corner. Retrieving it will be Okino. Expect number 4 in white and orange to be out there a lot in this extra frame, as well as number 16 in maroon and gold. Rizzo turn it over to 16. That was Bell. Right circle. Winds. Fires. Sticked away as that was partially blocked. 15:23 left in overtime. If you're just joining us, Cristiano Simnetta with you, as well as Lou Gamlin alongside. You know, it's getting so late in this game, Lou, that simple sentences hopefully are coherent for the viewers on the ACHA network. We appreciate your time as this is gloved down by Brower. 4:55 in overtime.
Maybe we have to do short sentences like they're doing short shifts to keep ourselves fresh here.
30 to 40 seconds, you got it.
5 minutes gone in this overtime, but hey, there's nothing like extra hockey. And it's not like the other divisions where it's pool play, where they just play one overtime. If the case stands or if it needs, we may go extra than more than one.
Sam Turner and Molfetta punch the puck back to the left point. Potter with a shot. It's blocked by number 23, Jason Richter. Good to see him back on the ice. Jamestown in some hot water here. Scoredillas looks along the right circle, fires one wide. Potter retrieves it along the left point. And he shoots one tight angle, blocked along the end boards. It's an open puck, ready for number 14, McElroy Scott. And it is Chavez Leach now. For number 18, that's Stevens. And here's number 23, Richter. Absorbs a hit. The puck comes back to center ice. And Jamestown will switch to the forward groups, as will RMU.
Good chance for both teams to get a clean, fresh set of legs on both sides, offensive and defensive.
Stover between his own circles. 5:42 in overtime. It's Lucas Stover. Has Martin. He'll let him wander past. Stover. You hear the command, take it and go. He'll do just that. It's Potter, who's been out on the ice a lot this shift. Okino poked the puck to the far side, and that puck will be launched to the near side, out of play. So the puck will stay in the zone for RMU. A defensive zone faceoff for Jamestown upcoming as we've reached the 6-minute point.
Boy, that could have been a fatal mistake that time for Okino, because Robert Morris was right there to pick up the scraps, but they couldn't quite get there, and now the faceoff comes outside the zone.
Martin and McKechnie duel on the faceoff. Martin wins it all the way back as Stover. We've seen him in this role before. About 25 seconds ago, the same play happens. Martin instead takes it, drops it back to Stover, and Martin again. Along the RMU bench, he gains the blue line left wing side, trying to hit the late man in Minaccio, as it's Josh Hart, the near side, faking the backhand, and now will Tora one below the goal line. Okino rimming it for Haney. And Jamestown has some energy momentarily as Haney's going to go off for a change, as well as the full forward group, so maybe a chance. And now a 2-line, 3-line pass for Koch, but he lost the handle. Jeremy McNeil, left wing side, dodges a hit. Hart couldn't get it out. Here comes McElroy Scott. He fires just wide of the near side. And here comes Minaccio to Mancini. Mancini to Koch, 1-on-2. His entry attempt swatted away, but kept on the left wing side. And Mancini, double team. 7-minute point of overtime. It's still 2-2 between Jamestown and RMU. Jeremy McNeil overskated the puck, and RMU ready to clear it down.
This is where I think you could see these odd man rushes become more apparent with the tired legs, not able to get the changes that you want on these short shifts.
Nitchie doing some great work against 2 Jamestown defenders, but it comes free for Garrett Browning. Browning 1 point in his last 8 games. Would love to get a big one here. Here's Cachado. He fires a changeup, goes wide, and now it's Nitchie. Cachado with the pick play on Browning doesn't work so well when you're trying to block a 6'8" defenseman. Rizzo drops to his knees along the far side corner. 12:15 to go in overtime. Barron now for Browning. To the near side in Kreitz. Kept in momentarily by Koch, and RMU has it. Tight angle shot, Cachado, and that one is swatted away after stopping it with the chest. That was Brower. The best chance of overtime in terms of zone time for RMU so far. Here's Kreitz, has it, may want to wind and fire. That's over the net. And Rizzo has it on the far corner. And RMU changing up some forward groupings. They may have some late man up top. Here's Cachado. He fires, and that one may have been blocked away by number 8, Jeremy McNeil. Spun one out in front, and Coach wasn't able to put it home. Skordillis now. Left point for Rizzo. He'll survey his options. Now for Cachado. Great pass. Skordillis firing, and that one is blocked, and that stung McElroy Scott. But it's behind the goal once more. Browning. Just with every last energy. And that was almost a tripping call, excuse me, as McNeil,
wow,
as well as Chrome, come together with a pair of RMU players. But back to that play by Browning, he is just emptying the tank, and he's able to get it out. Here's Yee, stopping and starting on Skordillis. Shot, big pad save by Semchak and turned away to the far side half boards. Yee looking for Chavez Leach down low. Rizzo with a nice play to keep it alive. And RMU skates away, and look out, a 2-on-1 after a man tripped on a stick. What a move from Molfetta, he moves. What a stop by Brower. Do you believe that? Molfetta had so much time to make a move off the toe drag. And Brower, as big as a house.
Boy, Molfetta had the golden opportunity. They were able to take advantage of that stick in the middle of the lane, if you will, right before the blue line. It got one of the defensemen for Jamestown on all fours, but oh boy, I'll tell you what, Brower is equal to the task. That is his 47th save of the night.
So he has stopped 256 shots over his past 5+ games. Incredible. And here's another, the 50th shot on goal. This one comes from Sam Turner. A whistle, 9:17 into overtime. But that was Trevor Okino who tripped on that stick in the neutral zone, and it was a 2-on-1 chance.
One of the things you might ask, why are they taking the odd angled shots and low percentage shots? Especially now in overtime, it's not a bad idea because the goalies get tired too. They give up that juicy rebound and that sloppy or greasy goal, as you like to say. It makes it that much easier to put it past them.
And Dahlberg with some fresh legs, didn't get too many shifts in the third period as Simpson rattles it around to the far side. Pruss to the neutral zone, and that one will go out of play as Haney got a stick on it. 10:27 left in the first overtime. It's still 2-2. Shots RMU 50, Jamestown 39.
Well, it looks like we're going to get our media timeout here coming up, and a fresh set of legs for, a fresh break, I should say, for both teams. Well-deserved in this overtime.
You're watching overtime playoff hockey in the ACHA National Championships. We'll be right back.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
Timeout has concluded. The game has not. Cristiano Simonetta joined alongside by Drew Gamlin. 2-2, RMU versus Jamestown, 2-on-2 the other way. Here comes Josh Hart, who on the far side wing against Kyle Barron, who closes him off effectively. And a risky pass through the middle, and here comes Dylan Haney, though it paid off. Looking for the late man, a drive, pad save, rebound off the outside of the cage, and Semchak grabs that one too. Oh boy, Dylan Haney and Michael Pruss combining for a great chance, but just denied by the outside of the cage. 9:51 left in overtime.
Off the rebound, Haney's eyeballs got his biggest saucers as he saw that wide open net and just hit the goalpost, the outside of the goalpost, as you mentioned. And the best chance for Jamestown here in this overtime session.
Turner, who's been great at the dot all night. It continues here. Stover missed that pass. It'll be recovered by Joel Molfetta. Great pass onto the tape. Left wing side. It's Dahlberg. That shot was deflected just high over the right shoulder of Brower, but that is and could be foreshadowing how this game's going to end. A shot that possibly gets redirected, whether it's a friendly skater or an opposition. Doesn't matter as long as it hits the back of the net to end this game, but it's currently tied with 9:23 left in overtime.
Well, now you see Jamestown with a short shift as well, with, as you mentioned, almost 9 minutes left to go in overtime. Both teams getting into that part of the period where the legs are starting to get heavy. We'll see if a mistake happens to turn it into a game-winning goal.
Cleared back in by Jamestown, but on their side of center. So this will be icing. A key offensive zone face-off for RMU. 10:54 into overtime.
You got Aquino and his crew back. It's still out there with Bell. They can't make the change, so the face-off again will come deep in the Jamestown end. As you mentioned now, 51-40 shots on goal in favor of RMU.
Look for Cachado to win this right back to Nitchie, but that plan goes awry, but Nitchie with a stick on it. And he gets it back along the far side corner. Number 43, maroon and gold. Backhand, but a nice read from number 9. That was Brian Crone. He'll gain the red line, gets shoved from behind by Nitchie, and now a right circle chance. The puck is blocked, and that's an active play from number 6, Tyler Kreitz. And now on in front, oh, what a save by Semchak! And being dumped into the goal was number 16, Cale Bell, who had the game on his stick. Semchak had him beat.
Wow, a bang-bang play just like that, Cristiano. And Semchak had to be strong. That's what we were talking about right there. A turnover just like that. That wouldn't have been a sloppy goal, but oh my goodness.
What a pass.
Oh, you see the replay. Good play by Semchak to keep this game tied.
So we've seen one big save from Brower on Molfetta, and now Semchak on Bell. These two goaltenders, no matter who wins this game, they're going to be the MVPs for their team. Here's Mancini. Oh, I thought he was offside there. Now, lead man coming hard. Oh, do you believe that? Tyson Brower with the leather mitt.
Oh.
And what a save, 8:30 left in overtime.
With authority, he said, oh, no, not yet. That was one heck of a save. But you're right. It sure looked like it was offside from our vantage point. But nevertheless, a big save, and that keeps the face-off deep in the Jamestown end.
Mancini shoots one through traffic. That missed the goal. Kreitz along the goal line. Behind now for Martin. Pass flutters. And McKechnie is dumped by Mancini. Martin tight angle shot again, and he gets dumped himself. Browning skating behind the goal. 8:13 left in overtime. The alternate captain. Look at his wheels here. The big heavy strides, but Martin catches the pass. Knocks down Haney, and it's Kreitz. Mancini, good weak side pass for Hart. 2-on-2, maybe 3-on-3. Hart, right circle, fires. That one missed the net with a couple of players heading to the front. And now a stretch pass. Tyler Chavez-Leach, maybe in the clear in the backhand. Right kick save from Semchak. That looked a little bit more dangerous than the initial play. And now Molfetta, end to end we go. Mancini skates along the high slot, going wide, fires, and he took out the sand wedge. And he thinks that one was deflected. Goes into the netting. 7:37 left in overtime. The long change is going to be a factor here as time ticks on.
Boy, we had a couple of cherry picks that time. Some good heads up on both sides to get that lead pass, and a couple of almost breakaways. But the goaltenders again standing tall. Shots on goal, 53-42. Robert Morris.
Aquino for Chavez-Leach. Shipped out the center ice logo. RMU with it now, 7-9. It's Turner to Molfetta. Molfetta with a deep, but a nice old-fashioned hip check there from Sunstevo. That turns down, back the clock. Oh, what a left-hand save. A turnover there, Molfetta. His second chance of overtime, and this time it's the left leg of Tyson Brower keeping it out.
Boy, it sure was. And that, you talk about a juicy rebound there. Nobody home for Robert Morris. And that's about as nice as it's going to get for a rebound that time.
Anthony Potter blocked the shot, and now here we go, RMU. Here's Molfetta looking for Turner. He gets him, looking to go back, and but a swiping poke check from Brower. You want to talk about turning back the clock?
Yes.
That's vintage.
Yes. Love it. Love that play in overtime.
Richter and Browning having some trouble. It's Dahlberg for Cachado. Oh, what a nice move. He'll deke around another. Oh, but big hit from Browning to separate the man off the puck. That's a bit of a height mismatch, Lou.
Boy,
as Cachado and Browning come together again, and they separate. 6:30 left in overtime. It's Richter.
Nicholas Cronwall type there for Jamestown as he really put the lumber in the weight on him.
Here is Manaccio to the far side. Nitchie Jake Nitchie, blue line, red line. He'll go end to end, possibly. But coming to the aid was Barron. Turnover, Scott Koch walking in. He can win the amount in front. They score! It's over! Mike Cachado! And RMU has a date with Lindenwood.
Wow, we talked about it. It could take a turnover. It wasn't really a sloppy goal. And I'll tell you what, you cannot really blame Tyson Brower on that one at all. It was a nifty move to get in on goal. And again, Cachado with the game winner. And now to the victor go the spoils. And in this case, they get Lindenwood tomorrow. But like we said, I don't think they care right about now. Beautiful game-winning goal for Cachado. Time of the goal, 13 minutes, 51 seconds into overtime. 4-3, or 3-2 rather. What a dandy game we were blessed to call.
And the 55th shot beats Tyson Brower for RMU's third goal of the game. And look at the reaction. You see RMU at center ice. They're ecstatic. But at the other end, Jamestown rounding around their goaltender. And the emotions are high here. And look at the play. Here's Scott Koch walking on that left wing, the left dot. What a pass out in front. And Cachado just over the glove of Brower to seal this one for RMU.
We've got the referees huddled right in front of us here. Are they going to take a look at this?
Now this would be something.
It looks like they are, Cristiano. It looked like a pretty good goal to me, unless there was some type of goaltender interference that I didn't see. But, that's why we're up here and they're down there. But what a nifty pass. Well, they took advantage of a turnover, and we'll wait and get the call.
This is about as anticlimactic or as it can be after the emotional high of Cachado scoring that goal. So you have two things. It's either the zone entry or goaltender interference.
Boy, I didn't see either one. I really didn't.
But the referee's taking a look at it. Hopefully we can get a replay for you at home in just a bit. And Tyson Brower still in that cage, hoping, praying that he's got another sign of life in the form of a disallowed overtime winning goal from Mike Cachado.
Wow, it just was a bang-bang play again on the turnover. And, they're coming out of the review booth area, and it's a goal.
The game is over. Mike Cachado with the GWG in OT, and the celebration is solidified for the Eagles.
Well, again, a nifty play. Cachado gets the game-winning goal on the turnover, and on the 55th shot, as we mentioned, 3-2. Time of the goal, 13:51.
And again, the embrace from the Jimmies to their goaltender, Tyson Brower, who still hasn't left his crease as the handshakes have already started at center ice. What a fantastic tradition in the sport of hockey. No matter what you've been through over the past 3 or so hours against your competitor, at the end of the day, you shake hands, you move on.
And they're going to call it an unassisted goal, and that's fine. I guess it doesn't matter.
Scott Koch with that turnover. He's the one who cut it off, danced around the left circle, and just sent a nice UPS package right on the doorstep of Cachado, who made no mistake. But it doesn't matter, Lou.
No, it doesn't.
They just want the win.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you. Okay. But you know what? It's like getting a foul when you play basketball just to get your name in the paper. It doesn't matter as long as you win. And, indeed, that's what Robert Morris did. But, again, my heart aches for Tyson Brower and Jamestown. What a tough way to lose. You hate to see somebody lose like that, but it was a very, very clean played, well-played game. Two very well-respected players, or teams, rather, and it's congratulations to Robert Morris.
Cole Semchek gets the win, 40 saves on 42 shots. Tyson Brower gets the loss, 52 saves. The story was the goaltenders, but it ended with a beautiful offensive strike from Mike Cachado.
Oh, indeed, and it was a great pass, as you mentioned, from Koch, who picked it up on the turnover, and it looks like they're going to get. I'm not sure who they're going to get to talk to down on the ice. It looks like they're going to get the game-winning goal scorer, Cachado.
Of course, it's got to be Mike Cachado down on ice level. Todd Corder is down with the GWG and OT score.